Ghanaians have seen before and rejected before. A manufactured miracle. We are all told Ghana has turned a corner. GDP grew by 6%, inflation fell sharply, the cedi appreciated by over 40%. Success, they say, victory, they claim. But at what cost and for what benefit? First, much of the recovery began before President Mahama returned to power. It's rests on an IMF program we negotiated, fiscal consolidation we implemented, and a global gold boom we did not create. Second, the same IMF report they celebrate also warns of quasi-fiscal risk, loss-making gold schemes, and hidden vulnerabilities. They publicize the headlines, they downplay the warnings. And thirdly, a 40% cedi appreciation in 1 year is normal for an economy with our structural weaknesses. It erodes competitiveness, hurts exporters, damages farmers and manufacturers. But this government cares more about optics than sustainability, more about short-term applause than long-term stability. The $214 million scandal. Nothing exposes the government's failure better than the gold board for reserve disaster. In just 9 months, we lose $240 million. $240 million gone. That is 2.6 billion cedis, money that could have been built, that could have built hospitals, equipped schools, and established storage facilities for farmers. Instead, it was lost in a politically connected gold scheme. Now, let us be clear. The Gold for Reserves program was the brainchild of the NPP government under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We conceptualized it, we designed it, we initiated it, and under our administration, it was managed with discipline, transparency, and accountability. The program, as we designed and implemented it, did not lose $214 million in 9 months. So what changed? The government and the people running the program. When President Mahama returned to power, he inherited a functioning program. He politicized it. He expanded it recklessly. He placed it in unprepared and potentially conflict hands, and the result speaks for itself. The Gold Board and the Bank of Ghana, masters of financial misdirection. The IMF, in just 9 months, has documented losses of $214 as a result of the operations of Gold Board and Bank of Ghana. Gold Board and Bank of Ghana has responded. On 3rd January 2026, he emphatically denied that Gold Board made any losses. The governor, or the CEO of Gold Board, generated over $960 million in revenue against 120 million Ghana cedis in expenditure, promising a surplus of 700 to 800 million cedis. These are bold claims, but they do not address the core issue raised in the IMF report. The first sleight of hand, conflating operational accounts with program performance. Gold Board can charge agency fees and earn commissions. None of that addresses whether the Gold for Reserve program itself is loss-making. Here is the analogy. A fund manager who charges 2% fees on $1 billion fund earns $20 million in fees. But what if the fund itself loses $200 million? The management company shows a profit the fund has created. This is exactly what Gold Board is doing. This shows us Gold Board's fee income. This does not show us the actual program performance. The IMF found the $214 million in losses in the actual gold trading operations, and Gold Board's response was to show us agency fees and call it a surplus. That is not transparency. This is misdirection. The Gold Board's second issue, the Bank of Ghana, excuse me, the Bank of Ghana shall gain. How can an institution that is not making losses transfer losses it has not made? Gold Board explains that the program is funded by the Bank of Ghana, sits on their books, so any losses are theirs. But here is what is omitted. Who manages the program? Who executes purchases? Who negotiates with off-takers? Gold Board does. The bank provides funding and bears financial risk, but Gold Board makes the operational decision that determines profit or loss. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, if I give you $100 million to invest and you lose $20 million through poor decisions, technically it is my loss. But you made the decision that caused it. You are responsible. You are accountable. You cannot claim credit for successes and then disclaim responsibility for failures. The third dodge, we inherited it. Gold Board is only 8 months old. He says, how can we be responsible for legacy losses? The IMF report covers the first 9 months of 2025. Gold Board was established on 2nd April 2025. That means at least 5 months of losses occurred under Gold Board's management. The point is this: a functioning program has been turned into a loss-making operation, and the public deserves full disclosure. The off-taker fee scandal. The IMF specifically highlighted excessive off-takers fees. Off-takers are intermediaries who purchase gold from small-scale miners in a well-managed program. Fees should be competitive. For example, 2 to 3% of gold value. But the IMF identified excessive off-takers fee as a major driver of losses. fees for above market rates that destroy value. Who selected these off-takers? Who negotiated these fees? Who approved these contracts? These decisions were executed within the operational chain of the program. Why would any manager agree to excessive fees? Two possibilities. Incompetence. The team did not understand gold trading economics. Corruption. The fee structure may have been designed to benefit private interests. In our view, management had conflated fee income with program performance. They have refused to disclose critical information. When confronted with IMF findings, they deny rather than investigate. Our verdict is that this program is being protected from scrutiny, despite clear red flags. Any competent manager knows that a well-managed gold program should not lose money in a rising gold price environment. 2025 was a bull market for gold. So how do you lose $214 million trading gold in a bull market? You pay excessive fees, you buy above market and sell at market. You take poorly structured positions, or you leak value through opaque arrangements. The IMF identified excessive off-taker fees. A competent manager would negotiate disciplined terms, ensure competition among off-takers, and publish fee structures for transparency. That has not happened. From defendant to protector. But Gold Board is not alone. The governor of the Bank of Ghana must also be raising. The governor of Bank of Ghana must also answer serious questions. The governor was elevated by President Mahama, and before the elevation, he was one of the beneficiaries of the Attorney General's Nole Protocol. He faced charges for his previous role at the Central Bank. Those charges are discontinued through Nole Protocol, and then he was elevated to governor. He faced the institution that funds the Gold for Reserves program, the institution whose balance sheet bears the $214 million loss, the institution that should have provided rigorous oversight. Under governor's watch, these losses occurred. Excessive fees were allowed. Trading losses mounted. Controls failed. And when the IMF exposed these losses, the Bank of Ghana issued press release dismissing the IMF's concern defense instead of scrutiny. As governor, he must answer, what oversight did the bank provide? When did they become aware of losses? Why defend and deny rather than investigate? Who approved the off-takers' contracts? And critically, as someone who benefited from the nolle prosequa, does he not see the public concern when accountability questions arise again around politically exposed actors? Abandoned farmers, rotten crops. While this government burns millions of unquestionable gold scheme, our farmers watched their harvest rot. Rice farmers in the northern region brought in bumper harvest. They planted, they tended, they harvested, and then they waited for a government that had no ready plan. Tons of paddy rice sat rotting. Tomato farmers faced the same nightmare: glut harvest with no storage, no processes, no support. They acted only after demonstrations and threats of boycotts. Too little, too late, too reactive. This is governance by crisis. Think about the contrast. $240 million lost in 9 months on a gold scheme, but no resources ready for farmers until they took to the streets. And while government celebrates CD appreciation, rice farmers are now face cheaper imported rice flooding markets. Tomato farmers compete with imported concentrate benefiting from the strong cedi. The very farmers government neglected are now undercut by the policies government celebrates. Galamsey, blood money and betrayal. Fellow Ghanaians, on that fateful day of 6th August 2025, 8 citizens of Ghana, including 2 top ministers of state, took to the skies on a mission to confront illegal mining. They never returned. Their helicopter fell from the sky and a nation mourned. This tragic incident should have strengthened national resolve to defend our land, our water, and our children's inheritance. Instead, Ghanaians watch a government that speaks against Galamsey in press conferences while allowing questionable incentives, weak enforcement, and compromised supply chain to persist. This is not merely policy failure, it is betrayal of public trust. Illegal mining continues to expand. Our water bodies are poisoned with mercury and cyanide. Our cocoa farms are destroyed. Our forest reserves are vandalized. The Pearl River and Cobra and Brim increasingly reflect national distress and institutional weakness. As we speak, many parts of Accra are without water. This is happening alongside increased tariffs. When institutions meant to safeguard our environment are subordinated to opaque arrangements, what we witness is not a decisive fight against Galamsey. It is a loss of state control. The blood debt. The tragedy of the helicopter crash and the broader damage of Galamsey demand accountability and reform. Across Ghana, families lose relatives to cancers, kidney failure, and poisoned water linked to illegal mining. Farmers watch cocoa farms destroyed. Communities watch rivers die. Ghanaians must insist on truth, credible, independent investigations, and consequences for the network that profit from destruction. A nation under siege, a security crisis that we are facing. But while this government burns millions on gold schemes and abandoned farms, Ghanaians sleep with one eye open.
Memo akwaba at the Bat CVXYZ so baby a wa wo hwe me bia wa wo tie power 97.9 FM so memo akwaba memo bibia official pa afisi say na nyame aya koma so bisade amaye ma bibia tumi akonkan me pacho wo hwe time was studio sir about 3:42 pepe and day 8 January year 2026 emo man ya selfish catch you no bi na no so country no bi na mumfento TVXYZ your digital platform are free to air we betumi ahwe dwumadi bi na wetie bi also saso na me pacho bebre wo kosa light TV so multi TV digibox no so ye was so betumi ahwe TVXYZ also ye call online social media platforms and Facebook ye power 979 FM ye was so betumi ahwe tie bi also saso na TVXYZ Ghana and also Facebook betumi ahwe etie dwumadi bi also wo call YouTuber me pacho XYZ broadcasting and also betumi ahwe dwumadi bi etie bi also wo call social media platforms ni na so a ye wo so a obehwe na wetie bi wo betumi so edo comment abaso ntie wo kam wo comment ahuru na so a ye beje wo platforms ahuru na eso saso na make I say wo the nation's capital some part of Eastern, Western, Central and Ashanti regions. Omwina su etie 97.9 megahertz Power FM we call audio channel no multi TV so obetumi na so wetie dwumadi bi number of affiliate radio stations or mafa dwumadi e be a sharp 106.9 Miami secondary takrade e de demu ho na benin wo ho te sen sa so na skido Albert manager ene ebusuafo mo ho yina bolex de se wa brochi me metiechi amopa me mo hoye bibi aboko de yo me chechi mo sharp 106.9 ye no ye secondary takrade ye twemhwi na ye ko half original ye dru esnafo north half original capital ye go so a one of the station with the greatest ambition nananom 92.5 FM no so ewo topeti o go so ne important ni ahafo bebia ye ko esnafo south ye edunum radio sankori ne important ye womu was ehwebuako ebuboma akọ western north mpotemu ina omuina etie edunum radio ye ba tano north dua nkwanta ene ne mpotem omutie charity 99.9 FM dua nkwanta ne mpotem ebora sunyan ebora nkura etwamo efie hoina saaso na ba tano south wona high radio wo bechem techimantia ne mpotem na omuina so etie high radio wo jumedi so abibia to be konkan ye kobono regional na ye drew nkran kwanta border town eho na make say omutie wo Nsuma radio nkran kwanta Doma West edidem ho nti ye nuanom mo Ivory Coast ibitie saaso no ba Doma ne mpotem wamfie ebebrekum ekofa genegene ne meka huina no omuina na etie Nsuma radio Engligi FM o Savannah region Bole saaso na make say Enuasi radio one your friend is saying Boom FM omuina no omutie dwumadi bi o oti region and important Volta regional capital one of Volta power 94.1 no so afa dwumadi bia empempem otie any number of affiliate radio stations or move for dwumadi woko Cape Coast dia kotokraba pe one na adom sounds wa no so mo bien hu ha me ma omo kotokra bogoma wo zigwa yinara wo tonaze yinara wo retenti me cheche ho yina ni bebre na nka so mo bie ma nipa bebre na eti adwumadi enti otwedi ampo nyankopon na so me den kan no show bebre me see here na ye beginning right anti ye tutu ye niema ye mpese mistakes last year ye niema ye ambo last year no ye betwe ye ho afi ho ye be pick lessons ahuru afim na ye tumi move forward ya forge ahead na niema etumi akofom wo bo form last year don't give up men kan try ho say wo hwe form nti so wo hwe form na wansan ma musu bioma eno na chese wo hwe form but wan kasa wo hwe form say no men give up a determination so original pim ko wanim won kasa mesi wo junction imomu ko wanim sonwa na echese bibia boko sa wo ma ekwenti ye bepem akwanim but ye ni na no so no Jehovah Shammah Jehovah Nisi Rafa otwedi ampon yankopon ye nuanom muslimi fo friend Allah ye nuanom aibe fo friend mawu wo ma obema bibia betumi akonkan fi se oyenyanko aye tre no mpon ye de biada wodun hotu ni paso dia nipa bedu hwambo wonsa besi fom but my mekatro ne say yemfa ye honto okasi so na bibia entumi enkonkan idia meji show ye Nicholas Yao owusi Olsen obetumi afro me Ken Nicholas so na executive producer all time echi no oboa me madwumedie ye de bro ye Mr. Kelvin Asante me call MCR TV director wo ho your friend Mr. Raf Jampo on na or director affairs TV munyani say ho so na Mr. Peter Cranton or elder or Church of Pentecost no so be chechi no boy MCR ho na chiribo wo ho a friend Abbas ashama ni akwala na ninye den kra but me se me nua keto Abbas mema wedi ayedin go sanso support Liverpool if you am ne wona Linda pe na support Liverpool ha so Linda ni yedin pa Linda Magite na ni yedin nta Abbas wo so mo weni yedin ko Liverpool for yenye ba ya yedwosa ti mo weni yedin pa na enye CCTV camera te say ye do desuko na me na dana say so na ye ko sounder ye benya Mr. Emmanuel Kisi wo ho ko de hye say na bedi de ni tim ye de papa o ye Sakura mesum ye Sakura ye be any den sa na tie ansana Emmanuel na te aboje se Emmanuel Nete abodwese ono so owo enti ye ba camera so a wo be hu Mr. Willie Uncle Willie opa Chelsea pa o masa aka o mu coach yen hwe se coach we obetumi aboa ma Chelsea afa no ntoma pefra ndra na de down mo so pa so na Kofi the boy man friend Frankie na ni tira hono pa enti Kofi ti adenta sa de efrefre ya enti Kofi di America se echi de kasoa no obekwa akatena nyehwe kasoa so nya bad kra enti Kofi akwhye kasoa menia ba Elizabeth Tego ono na wasiesie me kama pa na ono de ye ko se kin Sime Junction Lazy Tegu me did say also bibia boko de sa na tie enti on the lighter note kukudami na yaka boom na ye ba besom ende 8 January 2026 Thursday's edition of Inside Politics, the biggest socio-political show Ghana ha ye buma na chese obia ye din ye ni baby ati aje TVXYZ and a power 97.9 FM tiki Nicholas in me din yaji nkunyata so ndie ye babo man Ghana hunkro so man betumi afa no ntoma pefra endra na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama unya 1 year pepepe abra obey no betena konya kese no so konfunam eswede ma eye o man Ghana odi so na 1 year menu na dia dance na ye nimese papa na bo adwuma entendra na ye celebrate ye because edru baby ye konkwasomo na sesi ade ye rescue Ghana may rescue Ghana no so ye hu say ye kwa the right direction o man no ye nko astray bibia ye kama udi hu dance ye enya me pe na mete ha America ba wa wutie me wa wo hwe me wonim se ne kre direction o man e kɔ no eye kama na nim se na kese na wo kwan mu a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama one na point say twa no hwehia omo bo adwuma ombetumi ama oman no etumi afa no ntuma pefra na me ne wo etumi di ensesi ebo ya kase no kre ye fi Ghana ye Ghana fo na Ghana ye krabehwe wo nkotoje nim a ya sorry former president ni ne busua ni omo twa no hwehia omo bu man na man no enkoye fi se wo pese man ne hye a wutimu bi ma man no koye a ye nije ye to abape ya ndra ye celebrate 1 year pepe president ro office enye nije bronyen minim se etise kra na niema ye emo ni anwa ne niema ye to se ye a president papa banti on se ufa baby a eye grass ana say green areas obe hu say nduaba ne adisisi ti obe hu say oh leaves ni na ahye nso eye nti bibia ahye ya ekyese oman no otwedi ampon yankopon ankasa no ma majority no etumi to my His Excellency John Dramani Mahama maniema ekoye yesi di papa bedi man so a man koyi na eye yesu a yewo mu ne neje ni paboni bedi so a o man koto dichim na yebre enti ade atene no yeguso a ye celebrate His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no 1 year wonyan wo office 1 year 1 day ese wani ense de kachero na ye quoting dia ye ntwentwen ye na asokra ye koye ni ma and the minority no more parliament and there omo press conference had the winning dada said the New Patriotic Party omo MPs omo parliament there ye can a press conference omo fanokwa says ya de omo penny no majority leader no ape baby akwhye na ye maame Patricia PG oye deputy minority leader or sanso member of parliament ma sokwa onu di anim na omobeye eye pressure onu na medi kan yi humfo nyima wo hwe bi no na nsam bebre na nkasa na nde omodu tudwa onu na oda no na omoka se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne na ban so omoka se omatene eye things around enye no kre manufactured miracle asemo kan ye no se no kre bi anim na ensem omoka ni na no enya dia eto asum ye hwe eye success a omo say 6% GDP growth na inflation over 40% appreciation of CDA ni na no sa benefit gains ni na no enya dia reflective wo ordinary Ghanaian bottom asama no mo kanu na according to omonsema mo kanu aban no nsema oka se wabon homeboarding policies ahuru ni na no enya dia ye no kre na omose ye much of the recovery began abra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama returning to power no IMF na omone yira ye no negotiations ahoro no eno na omotumi ahwe aboa masa niamani na aye adwuma na beka say global gold boom ade bia omo create enya aban na nkasa na san hyehyɛ no waye nti omo pese omo ka say yemfa credit ne ma IMF hyehyɛ bi omo ne ye kowre mu a ye ho papa yen ye ho tete yen no eno na ade a etumi favor aban no na eniema bi ohwa IMF no sebi waba aban ne kokko fiscal risk weaknesses in gold related schemes ahro ni na aban ne yinania to free on pese otie sa warnings no mo downplay warnings IMF di abano na okaka na sidini appreciate any mekeka ho reflect wo my Ghana timemfo botom sa asemi aye ma making yo me church ma enti sisi no 40% are appreciating in 1 year no enye normal for the economy because structure and weakness sasu biom enya dia ebetumi aboa na yembisa ese ordinary Ghanaian yehwe damages ahro a exporters ne farmers manufacturers can na chese still no enya dia ekoyi na ni na no short term applause na yemfe man policies na enya dia long term economic stability anti enya dia yebeka say abano abo no humbody yema me biom or signed the tudwa say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na demonstration no reckless almost expand gold for reserve program no emblem abine ye papa bina ama seme o mine lucy 214 million US dollars within 9 months na so the two john mami apj o person say abine fail papa a major failure in economic governance and oversight now or describe it as 214 million US dollars scandal no I say idea what the back on my second equivalent in a 2.6 billion na sansike ya o man no yahwe no te betumi de BSc hospitals you betumi de BSc schools ya equip schools ahoro you provide storage facilities am farmers any niema be branch o man no e betumi enya ho emfaso na we ni na no omo terminus political connected gold scheme sana oka or say gold for reserve program no originally no NPP aban anado danko Akufo-Addo oda no Ghana fo yeyi omo fly no say omo na this measures no too ha with discipline, transparency and accountability adwuma aban we so beto aso nti fans no enya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in administration na de bae na besha omokra no aban ne hyase ne lucy hwe baba we bae na wama ye lucy IMF International Monetary Fund I trust can IMF for more report no document in it say 214 million within 9 months na attributed to sa operations of a gold board in a Bank of Ghana ye mami apj say a gold board in a Bank of Ghana na deny sa sasike yahwe a man on wo hwe mo respond o mo de bae 3 January 2026 chief executive officer Owura Sami Jemfi and some mo de betu dwa and say institution need to me generate over 960 million in revenue against 120 million Ghana cedis 960 Ghana cedis million against 120 million Ghana cedis in expenditure any project surplus between 700 million and 800 million unti sansemi na no asi wo need betu dwa no enya dia tally na we hwe IMF report na eno na eya de dedi na o mayi o mani to free o mo pese IMF nsem no o mo gitum na o mo bogu nti aban ne de we faili nsem a ye ma me Patricia PJ one ne dom so omode abetu edwa no na ye bedin koma aban omo si we faili no 1 year me pese wo ye Ghana ni a wutie na wo hu 1 year na omo si we faili no omo kaka katoto papa so no me pese wo hu eniema aban we etumi aye na se me amete he me boa kasa me boa se omo na ehu dia menim se Ghana fo ehu ye hwe economic and fiscal management inflation aban bae na 20 from 23.7% to 6.03%. Interest rate na so 27% or the about 21%. Cedi aban fa no 17 or the about 10.25 per dollar, me check 10 cedis 25 pesos. So na public debt it may reduce aba 150 billion Ghana cedis. Ye share taxes ahroa abane ye fi wa ebi e-levy, COVID levy, betting, tax, any emission tax, no so abine to me a year fi ho. We reduce ministers from 126 at the bar 56. I to me save country billions of cedis. Reduction and I say ye share fuel prices are a swat a sugo so te ye bought a commercial drivers crash omonche na omonte so yen social intervention and education. It be a no fee stress with over 156,000 beneficiaries. Full scholarship for people with disabilities. Saasona sharing of sanitary pass, Mahama cares. Yenhwe omo problems ta kidney ni yare ahro omuni bi ekwan aban na eboa. Yenhwe governance. Yeba governance 1 year of corruption and scandal free. Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo abreba yete niyama bebre a esiye ne first month no kra no yebeka ya oye bia etese edane mframa efa wiem ni ade no hunsem no fuel allowance for appointees ni na no we year fi ho no DSTV subscription for appointees sa so yeba galamsey fighter blue water guard. Ban on mining in forest reserve. Ban on mining near water bodies. Yeshe laws are repeal the law that allows people to mine in our forest reserve. Rebecca Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo mu the brebi by say forest reserve ye kwaya beto a yeja to ho a enema bebre wo mu a if you say eda ho a no oma ye mbra wo parliament say yenwrem na yenkotu gold ene meka ho ana monkai ye kwaya akese nyina no ni nyina no aban ne etusa na mo na aboa etusisa ma bibia etumi ye hwe legal and operational framework of 24-hour economy say secretariat wo ho a omaba sha se ye adwuma wo port of Termane takrade a omo bo adwuma papa ye hwe job creation working abroad projects abani de edu egum sa so na 500,000 fire 5,000 fire assistants sa so na 12,000 police assistant, 5,000 prison assistant, 200 ambulance service. Saasuna a blue water guard, 2,000 immigration assistant. Ni nano yadia ya for moi omobwa mejume kobosume so omunya kakra eto omo edi bibo omobra you to know mebuno. Saasuna ejume 10,000 beneficiaries. Ono so ye training oma omo train omo grant national apprenticeship program. The big push ye create 800,000 direct and indirect jobs, and also edema nkofo commission of new DVLA and passport office any niama bebre nankasa ni nano His Excellency John Dramani Mahama make a min konja enkokonketenkete enkokonketenkete anti ni nani programs ahroa within a year no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in a demonstration to me aye nande kukuda moha ye be delve into this issue see na wotumi ehu ye be hu ye maame Gloria difa ashinyo ye better in office of the president Saasuno Kofi Abusuapani or a member the national communication team NDC and in there you assume ye na ubeti nsem papa ye be more sounds ye maame Patricia dey ha me pa maame pani a wudi anim wudi mrenti anim na nketesi embe na mudi trosa ha adwene me hu say ye maame Gloria kra wa ye din o say nde over to be amana papa nti we ye eniema say minority no in parliament no mo hu ya yabobo bi a kire nti so omo se mebo a omo mfa chinye mbre na yenko yenim His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne 1 year no echiri eyendra ye na asesombo mpa rewura ne office on the staff ni bididi nkomo ene meka ho no ene so oye se ade a obeba pro kakra na wewura state institutions ni bi no ni omo ekodidi enkomo enti ne Oko Ghana Broadcasting Corporation ye trust kan GBC na GBC and the oko no omo kodidi enkomo na onyo mutu odi tudwa catch omo se omo hwe no omo promote accountability omo strength public no kwanya omo betumi ehu ma media ne ye na media nyenya omo gidi na ahye na nse ni GBC no wode etie na omo ma omo adwuma so ho nte when in Sembebra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oko Ghana Broadcasting Corporation abro ni management share nsemo de tu omo anim yenkwe na yenkohwembra.
I am quite familiar with GBC. I first walked through the gates of GBC in 1986 as a young intern, I was doing my postgraduate in communication studies at the University of Ghana, and I was brought here for internship. And so, at a time when Gifty Afeni-Dazi and all of them, were the news editors and all that, this is where I cut my teeth on early journalism. And so, of course, GBC occupies a sensitive spot in my heart. Aside from that, I was the supervising minister for several years, first as deputy minister of communications, then as minister of communications. And so Akushika Akwe and all of them, are people that I'm very familiar with. And so, I mean, definitely, as president, the issue of public media has been occupying our attention, and Minister Ofosu Kwakye has brought the issue of the state of the public media to cabinet a few times. And so that is what triggered my decision to pay a visit to see for myself, what the status is with the public media. And so we started with GBC. We're going to go to Graphic Corporation and the other public media institutions. But certainly, GBC has served Ghana well, and you yourself have described it in terms of the multiplicity of languages that it uses in its broadcast. It makes it able to reach every nook and cranny of this country in language that our people understand. And of course, the kind of content you carry is not content that brings advertising and money. You are talking to farmers about what kinds of seeds to use, when they should plant. I mean, it's not the kind of content that, people would necessarily throw their money at, like if it was beauty competitions and things like that. But somebody must do that, public education. And so we appreciate the work GBC does. And we believe that we must discuss a new funding model to see how we can make you better able to discharge the mandates that you have. You've mentioned several things, and we're waiting to receive your proposals. I believe that you have the capacity and the assets to be able to modernize GBC. I mean, you sit on prime property in this city, and I believe that we can leverage some of those assets to create a more modern digital GBC that is more fit for purpose than in the past. We are reviewing the Constitution. The Constitutional Review Committee presented their report to me, and it is my hope that Chapter 12, that has served us well since 1992, we look at it again and see how we can tweak it in order that, the media, the chapter on the media creates a better environment, especially for public media to be able to do its work. We'll continue to work with the National Media Commission in respect of the public media. And I think that in all these proposals, we'll bring the Media Commission on board so that all of us are on the same wavelength. There are few suggestions we have with regards to the so-called TV license. And I think that our thinking is going in the same direction to amend that law to make it a public media levy of some sort. And we're going to change the range of that levy so that it's better able to mobilize funding in order to be able to subsidize the work of the public media. And so when we're ready, it will be discussed in cabinet, but we'll discuss with you what our thinking is before we finally go to Parliament and amend the law. I'm sure that with some of the suggestions we've got, it will be able to raise the amount of funding that it brings in and make you better able to do your work. Your minister brought the issue of the legacy debts to us. And so what I've asked him to do is just to make sure that you keep up with the current bill. We're going to ring fence the legacy debt, and then we're bringing it to the attention of the Chief of Staff to find the funding to be able to defray the legacy debt so that it does not continue to be a charge on you. I'm happy you've started introducing solar. it will help to bring down your power factor and make you pay less so that you can use the extra money to do other things that are important to keep your organization afloat. With regards to the organogram, we'll wait to see what the suggestions are. And if you have an organogram in terms of management that is more than 60 years old, then I think that it's time to take a look at it. And so we'll be happy to see what your proposals are so that we can see what to do about it. And so with those few words, I just say I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you smiling. You've been under quite some pressure of late. But thank you very much. I know you guys are working under very trying conditions, but we want to appreciate you for what you've done. So I wish you a happy new year.
See John Dramani Mahama no kopie Ghana Broadcasting Corporation abroni omo editi enkomo no fi wa no de nani chire mo Graphic Communication Group Limited so oni omo kohia na oni omo di enkomo na ehono na market women be share na papa kan His Excellency jo wa bo adwuma mu wevi no na chese omani age because mo wa ye on my Ghana no ebra adwene nti ase so yenkwe na yenkohwe ne yentie abra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama okopie mo Graphic Communication Group Limited. No. Abra alcohol yenhwe ye maame medredifo ano mo boje His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so no wanko mo ho ora Graphic Communication Group Limited edwum ho nso Ghana fo ko boje no so yie pa se ma waye na bra dwene nti ase so yenhwe empempem a omafo wo a omo boje no so yenkwe na yenkoti ensema odru ho so odetudwa
24-hour economy initiative is one of the flagship economic policies of this government. I'm happy to note that the committee has finished considering it and is supposed to go into the floor of Parliament to set up the 24-hour authority, which would then open the way for implementation and registration of all the businesses that will be involved in the 24-hour economy initiative. And it will also spell out what kind of incentives can be given. And I'm sure that when that is done, because you guys have already started a 2-shift 24-hour operation, you should be among the first to register so that you can benefit and raise the status of your business. But all in all, I think today we are finishing our tour on a very happy note with the success story that we have seen here in Ghana Publishing. So I want to commend the CEO and also commend the chairman of board and actually all the board members for the effort that you have put into this. Really, when you talk about SOEs, I mean, people's attention go to some of the well-known names. And Ghana Publishing, for a long time, did not have a very good brand. It was like if you sent somebody to Ghana Publishing, you were sending him to Siberia, But I mean that turnaround is good. I mean, we decided to visit the state-owned media, publishing and printing institutions, and so we started with Ghana Broadcasting, went to Graphic, and now we are here. And in all the places we went, it was a tale of woe, and calling on the principal shareholder to come and extend the bailout. That doesn't seem to be the situation with Ghana Publishing, and I'm very happy when we start the printing of the textbooks and learning materials. Ghana Publishing should get a big chunk of that contract so that you can raise more money to continue the retooling exercise that you are doing. But thinking that you have brought into this establishment.
It is Excellency John Dramani Mahama na pro bonana yehu a otu anamon kopie mu Graphic Communication Group or the Mutin Komo or Kasafa Estate Publishing Company so Jumedi also Mudi na Mutumi Buana Bibia Etumi Konkai. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Korea or Ghana Police Service brought to me donate 100 Nissan pickups and 3 SUVs to support police activities across the country. Nti yenko na yenko habra opi muso Ghana Police National Headquarters na okodonate sa ade FAE or the boa Ghana Police. Inti Sanate His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no weko PM wo and the Police National Headquarters guard of honor ekoso kama yehu ma ekoso re no more 100 Nissan pickups and betumi aboa ma service with integrity etumi aye adwuma ntuma mo hwe kasampoyino ma ekoso no for the benefit of your listeners so mutie Power 97.9 FM or say kasa so no muhuma ekoso nti we so ya de a adwuma de ekoso nti pickups no na ewo ho efufu white nko kama pa egu on 100 no the Abua Ghana Police or Mudidi Juma or police for no ehia cars but afutu ba kwa me de be ma Ghana Police ni say almost maintenance no because Ghana Police to say bi ebe na chi ma ye na dobe yesremo FAE monhwe so yi mayen na monfam bo adwuma or president papa ba opese musumu ye adwuma adwuma no hote enye se afi na ebe fa de si police esi enika police enika ti wache bia mom we nationwide munna no Nissan pickups kama pa ho din wom e wosoro kama bebia betumi akọ nti eno ye hu no we so enye bruni wewo amonchian we amonchian foforo pa nkensu akofo kan tie rubber no no aban papa ba nti opese police for no so service with integrity omodwuma hote nti eno no monhwe 100 pickups no so maye pa monhwe so maye na monfam bo mdwumedi ebetumi ama omani na tumi afa no ntuma pefra minim say IGP odi Ghana Police enim obono humbodi nwie owura Christian Tetayo no oye adwuma nti His Excellency John Dramani Mahama waya adie papa yeguswa ne 1 year and wenya 1 year 1 day na my Ghana ye nije na mpenfo ba na ye delvo a wankasa obehu se no kre papa na ye adwuma nti ye krado sende ye be church nsemu ene kra na ye nhwe sa akwenja ba betumi ebia producer e be hwe se betumi the 5 minutes bi atoma listeners na viewers no etumi so actual madrin kakra anomo bibika omayen sa akwenja ba ebetumi ayene sa amamo nti de eteno no bebi edru yen sembre ye de apomide ho komo na ye de brew medical aka se kukuda mofia ha ye no mo bedin komo na apomide ho komo ye de Victory Garlic Mixture asoye edrei since say 2019 I'm sure say me no bi yen twen yare ansa ene Victory Garlic Mixture fa adaka no so ma me na bia na osuofu o ma ye bia frem enti adaka ni say na Victory Garlic Mixture na adaka nete yellow pa kama pa sa so na ete bottle na woman no we yare o wunyare unya bi no a ebebo papa e boost immune system no kutia yare ahon bebre na nkasa obi o se mensa no me na ititiriti wakoma ebo pepe won se hawa wakoma eto na abnormal unya bi no a ebebo pa me bibie tumi akonka bo ma mbogya ne die furusa ne yi ti wo yare o wunyare o wono ma ebebo wono so emma wunyare da a Victory Garlic Mixture. My friend Dr. Ketua. Oh, nti menje na no sem na nkan bebre. Na wachi ma woso we hu na dru papa. Enye na wo Ghana bebi eton dru bia. Titi nkomo no na hwe bi to na ebeboa. Dr. Ketua afisiapa.
Afenko be say
na bebi aboko de.
Oba de daro.
Doc ho ye.
Doc we papa.
And the crowd on the bronya. Witness for the yana.
Yeah.
The bronya. Mitiano.
Remember na swati.
Ejuma no edru no boy ejuma papa.
Oh yes.
And if you had yes.
eka wo Christmas hamper ho de mam workers say workers ne so nkonum bi no mfa na ye ni jesem
me ba cho ya na wefu a cheko ana wefu a hye kakra wonya bi no ma no so betumi abo yes it is niema bi ewo ma agba wefu na do
be a fat na collection nya
be yini na afio be bi etumi be bi edri fa ho nkomo boye ne tiefo na ahwefo etie
Elsiafo and so ya wada ye nchia kese e free victory garlic mixture aswe ye de ma odaseni bia oni atena efi emfia wudo bebre abesi 2025 and dey me pimu e 2026 ye catch us ye ma o official pa esro boda nyansagbo akwase wo ma afia esimi enya afia dia somdwe ene enkoso na pomudire mapa e bebre wonso a wo hwe da ne da nyina da obi wo hono ma wati victory garlic mixture enka obisu hono mo and then the kind what a draw victory garlic mixture enka obisa say victory garlic mixture krada e dia de na eye e de border seni obisu wa wate na mo aka ne say me nkoto obisi ma no garlic no no ama bre mudie kra o de metuma no bi bebre mesrew one garlic mixture sa wudo ni nyina mesrew ye wadro ene ye wadro per victory garlic mixture ni bi na sha se wono nom na endi wo akagiremu de bia da afuto ba kwa me de mo da se ni bia me ma menum mbapa no menua ma me ne se ade ba kwa da se ni ye betima ya bo ni pedua ne se di kan ho no a every to bia sha se o huru ni pedua num o cleanse o system num se de be ya efi bia da ba ni pedua num ebetimi abesen akọ abontene se enwena ye die chemical enso ye num Christmas ye didi nnuane anu no bebre akọ ni pedua num January ye si mu nka me ne wo a ka January mi si man ma pe victory garlic mixture edro we ni edro se hia ye gbo de ro se obi bia mpe bi woni fi edro we se bi nu fi se hia mesira osuma oba no so unia ba no fe unia kotwa no fe o sister na ka che ne se obonto edro we bi mna fi se edro we ye ma ebi empafie da eza ne se obi bi odwi na pomodiri mapa ho no ebe hia se edro we ebi empa ne fie da ese se enkoda ebe no mu bi mu emaya enkoda obi bia betimi anu victory garlic mixture odafo me sram wo besa wo hu ni padua no yedidi no efi ebe ni padua no ye home mframa ye srew ye se hu ni padum se de be ya efi bia afa aduani mu afa nsoma ko ni padua no mu unu victory garlic mixture no na ehu ni padua no mu se de be ya da ne da nyina da wuntini mu ebe da honom umoja betimi adiafusani ye wo ni padua no mu se de be ya apomodin ebe CP na esitezan se edikan se moja entimi ni afusani ye wo ni padua mu a ewa mo ase untimi na yi eni jobi bia no wase media mintimi na edua na jo fa na nkone da agya no pai no ti adwuma mu na woda mesrem uyo bia wuntimi enna yi a mesrem per victory garlic mixture egita vitamin D ekodi pedua no se kikire mesrem wonna obetimi adana ho se akoda ya bonu so nyunum esara to so nyunum obi wo hono ma wase midide bia na aduane ni jigina mebo obi wa de biara da odidi na ni jigina mebo mesrem indigestion no victory garlic mixture na nkoni pedua no mu edane a wudi bia na jigina obo ase jana no wase wo besa wo fe mesrem unu victory garlic mixture odi nyina da ebebe wiye no pomodin SCP na wonso esita edi amam efi ba woni pedua no mu eka hu bi obi won mo se e wo mana me nase at time empabua kwashem na environment se me nan esifo mu ase de yedi fufu ana me kire fom ato me nan ase ma me papa entwe ma ne nyanse ma kase me nyan yade de yade bone pa ne makaza yade yantambo yade din esase yade de e ka menkwa ne Dr. Mwakonkwa na ka yade de enko chiri vi pala se di bia brabum esase yade betra so a mo hwa obeto japade nyina da e de asa yade mesrem onasi ene at time wonse otititi obi wo hono mo enu a odae ne nua ba bi dae ne wo faase bi dae o sorry ye no na ne nsei aye ne tititi mesrem ma ne nkopa duro we bi echiri akwan ne ma pagya e de akire o ma mo radio no so no ko be to bia o so pe victory garlic mixture mesi eye victory garlic mixture won sana eye otititi wonasi ya tatai empabo na ehye wa wonte no wonasi ya se di foam ahye ho no onu victory garlic mixture be mu se ebebo mo jetimi de fusani woni pedwanum efi bia be ba bontene se de be ya wode enase wa mesi de mo okro basa yadom nyankopon Dr. J.A. Bani eye oforuwa ene di nkomo kagacha na fo nyina se enya victory garlic mixture ka ne ma nya stroke we okamobi TB ɔse ɛnyɛ victory garlic mixture kane maame stroke ɛkyɛ no srɛw ɛne gye meka kyerɛ sɛ yadeɛ bi wɔ hɔ no mu a ɛnyɛma bi wɔ hɔ no ma ɛda adi pɛ na ɛkyerɛ sɛ yadeɛ bi ɛbɛ nipadua no mu wo nsa ɛyɛ otitiriti wo nase ɛtaatae obi wɔ no ma ɔda sɔdeɛ ne nsa yi na agye ne wontumi mma so wobɛtwɛn mɛ da ho saa sɛ wotumi apagya me srɛw ɛntwɛn ma ne nyansa maame papa onua ba onua bɛma ko bi eto aduro bia wɔ Ghana ha wode oduru hɔ no mu a nkɔmmɔ nyinaa yɛ baako pɛ wo se me papa mu dinu mapa ɛno nti moma me victory garlic mixture fa kɔfie hyɛ sɛ wo no na endi wakagina mu sɛ wo nsa ka aduro ni bi nso a yɛse Dr. Amu akɔkɔfare bai ɛwɔ hɔ no sɛ every bia da wona ne kasa na wɔma akwankyerɛ papa na wate ɔsɛ deɛ bia ade bia wo ntia se no wafrɛ number ne yɛ 0242 54 5633 obu wa masoma kuma ebo me periperi edwuma kakra bi na mabrɛ me serew wakoma na ebo pɛ na bibi ene nkoye woni padua no mu ma wonsaka victory garlic mixture wakoma na ntimi empompi yie no moja ntimi mpompi yie mfa kwa koma no nti obi wo no mu a ade kuma bi na wabrɛ bibi na wahome na wɔte so me serew victory garlic mixture obu wo no ma ne nsɛm yi ɔse me nsɛm ayɛ bibi ayɛ ase hɔ no keka me ase hɔ no ayɛ dududu me nsa no ahyehye me serew pe victory garlic mixture o sase sɛ wo no mu a obɛde wo ho na wo nso de aseda ama ɛyɛ ɔkɔpɔ mbasa yɛ dɔm yankopɔn sɛ wabɔ saa kwan no ɛso minuanom ɛma no antie we yie paa wo yɛ ɔba o message na mekyɛ fikyire kɔ no ɛmɛ yie ɛba na enu na nsa na atwa memfa mbɔ ho safo hene sane sɛ ɛyɛ na sɛ ɛkyɛ dan kwa ma bi wobɛtimi anya fibroid adeɛ baako a doctor fo di si adokwa na sɛ ɛbɛ operation bisa doctor ni bia wonim ne sɛ nda wote wɔ ha sɛ ɛda ɛbɛ operation sɛ kikire wɔ ho ɔden so what 50% ɛnu ntimi sɛw ɛntwɛ ma ne nyansa waka sɛ mehu yanka wo sɛ message ɛmɛ yɛ ba na enu nansa na atwa kɔ bi ɛto aduro bia wode wasɛm nyina ne sɛ pɛ victory garlic mixture of nya to be preferred number no 0242 54 5633 now ne Dr. Amu Farabai any enkomo na fe no eya kwankyira wudo bi wo afutuo bi na won fama wo hya sese wo no mpɛ won mu anu victory garlic mixture edi adanse de buburu jaba catch you say meti bi de mensedu ni na asa aka ho esi mebo say obi bie no anu victory garlic mixture woni adanse mesrew wonso no bi na endi apomodin akagire mu ye konament nya nkwa eyade ade bia wontimi ye no na eyade na betimi asi ho ekwan mesrew entwen ema yade mete ne pedro no mu ansa pedro we bi sifie na enso ne pedro na se ehu ne pedro mamoja entimi nyafu sane oni pedro se omoja entimi nyafu sane ye kura no a honma na wadwendwene kura no atimi ebe do so na adwo no ena hu nfa nko wani yemra obi osimefu akese bebre ye the lem eka victory garlic mixture ho na tie me sankatwa na ye ka ho no ekita de bi afa no soluble fiber no ejina ho se mesrew wo obi a wafu ayekase bebre obese etwe eba from na eba normal obi won ma excess fat na ko ni pedwanim unu victory garlic mixture ebe na ni nyina da se de be ya wafu ebe twe de aba normal obi wo hono mu a eya na yidie indigestion enso atimi di mefu kese ba wo na fu be ma wafu akese me che be ma be no ma otimi nyinsa indi mesrew wafu akese bebre pe be to aduro bia da wo de okọ nkomo nyina e ba ko pe wo se me pe victory garlic mixture wafu nu ebe twe e de aba normal enso e de awon se de be ya wo nso bi na wabrebo mu anigye yemra obi a wo diabetes or pressure mesrew ade ba ko a e di pressure e ba ye high intake of sodium ene ye na ye di nyina da e chemical ne spices na doso mesrew e ka wo bie ma ne pressure amanimu ehumne so kwa na ekoso bi won ma waden no so vi se bebre for high blood pressure diabetes e ha pressure ni ye pada hwodidie ye ɛda de betwa wa wanhwe ne yie no ye wetimi atwa wonan baako e de afiri so mesrew na wonan mienu kro de koda asem na beka baako pe mesrew wo hɔ no ma na wahwe ho yie pa wo diabetes wo pressure mesrew pe victory garlic mixture egita magnesium potassium and phosphorus some men no mensa body e koni pedwani mu a regulate your blood and sugar level no ene ntimi mesrew unu victory garlic mixture koni pedwani mu a e be regulate your blood and sugar level no the amount wo diabetes pe minum wo eye me high blood pressure pe victory garlic mixture hyahye se ono na endi wakagire mu onipa da se ni bia hia se ni new system ebenya hoden moja betime dia fusani yemi so Ghana ha bebi eto aduro bia da edro we bi honom December yi ene afi 2025 mu ne di ni yie papa omo eto obi di ka hampa ho obi to bi koma ne maame obi di koma ne papa ni nuanu enwo mo recommend ye mankofo mu nyina da ye da mo ase tina that herbal center for obi Racework Herbal bi Repulse Ventures Misty Herbal Kolena ka Bay Pharmacy Kumasi Asante baby bia da voter region no baby edo ne de ya to apeti baby a mo amko mo obi si o me koye menya bi ebiaba mesere okọ ene yara also be Victory Garlic Mixture on sabe ke bi na meso no 0242 54 5633 and I said 020 129 3280 na mani go screen so fa na fe Dr. Mwako na onine ndi enkoma na yawada aha ne du besi yesesa afiwe ubenya pomude mapa
yebeda so papa pante Dr. Mwako omona Victory Garlic Mixture ano na ikuti hu nkomo bae no meme kokogya aboafo nkrato ba ko mienu miensa meba ye to inside politics you media no so
Every human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Na ade na ya obayi a oda forma so ne yafunu emunumuni.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also ya reya titi bi benfie pi nanso ne yamu nyono da. Se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwea. Ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se, what ulcer tamfo Hexa capsules, any Hexa mixture, yanum bom kutia ulcer no bia mano anum. Anka ne ho ato no dadaada. Ulcer dro de, eno ani Hexa capsules, any Hexa mixture.
Ankom ni nchiremu.
Ulcer ye kura, eto ye funu ene ensunumu. Etuma wo ye funu ekeka wa. Wodire wo ho a enye. Ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko, ebra wedidi awie. So how eye ulcer de a, compare Hexa capsules, any Hexa mixture. Nanum bom na ho ebeto.
Pedudu etua, ko okanshi drug lane, Kumasi Dani Herbal, Takradi AA Mensa, Anafre 020-3822-855. Apefo, abatan ya wama won mofra for, any mofra woni mfie dumienu enka ho. Hexa capsules, any ne mixture.
Ulcer tamfo, FDA aje edwade nkrato yi atom.
Mesamo wakwa abadiba TV XYZ so ye charge media no so apomode hu nkomo biom na ye de bro we fi Hexa capsules and mixture also I am crow ya dia ha adwene ye papa na yame adum na draba I am cronti announcement ye ti obi aduane obi kura ndi mokwa aduane e de pa obi di a kondo so ntumi ndi metumi aka chiro say wa wo hwe me wa wo tie me also say si ane draba your friend no Hexa capsules and in a mixture wo no mixture no na wo num capsules na ka ho obenya wa po mu den kama pa nti your friend no also atamfo Mike wa ha nti odensem ni na baba na Hexa no ye kan mu asema nipa be 3 enye say asɛm bi a meka ne kɛkɛ ɔmo Madina a minimum ɔmo amaka ho asɛm baako bebisa me mienu de me na me kyerɛm sesi ade ɔmo se bibia yɛ kama nti wo so no sɛ ulcer no edi wonya na wadwen yɛ o sɛ bie ntumi ntu ase a na tamfo aba obetu na se ahye fi okra yenti haksa nkomo Uncle Mike, Happy New Year.
Major so.
Na bibi abako de.
Nyame adom.
Haksa so bo adwuma
yi. Oh yeah. Christmas in nye is o. GAG.
Moral no wo me.
Na o de. Ile ko ra me ni
ja so no se.
Say that no pa ma me no say papa yo bo adwuma pa na say share production team no. Mola bi o mu puta.
Yeah, easy Peter Shaw Mola man.
Mola man, manu tia no. Tikini ko. And say ma me fa nchia ma eye ahwefo na yenka eye yendi haksa ho nkomo. Abusuafo me ba ne say ya na eye Hack Healthcare. Hack Healthcare so de aduro ba akopɛ ana yeye ewo ya so ye for now. Aye Hack Samisha and capsules. Na aduro we ne eye aduro me pacho ye di 2 stomach ulcer say. Me ba ne say ya me pacho me mema waduro esa yade miensa yade mienu da be yade ba akopɛ stomach ulcer. Enti say unni stomach ulcer de ene na aduro we ya me kam for no me pacho wo no sebe won ka ho. Na mmom no say no akwakoye a developer free aduro akwakoye ajapade ntino unni osakura na obetumi atobi na de asie san say osa no kwan e fa so ba nipa mu no aya na is very simple as one hwe yi a obetumi anya bi at any time eni to bomode na otobi na odi sia ene the here da ne ba pe na wakwa na kire say eno so ajiwa kagina mu na bibia no akoyie enunti say wako hospital ebia wodofo bi aka e de akire ama won so no wate wasumo pain say oko hospital doctors wonya peptic ulcer wonya gastric ulcer wonya duodenal ulcer ni nyina no esophageal ulcer ni nyina no ulcer hodwa wo ho etime ba nipadua nim na no so no nyina no anopomasibere Hack Samisha and capsules aduro yentafo nto for effective treatment there onum ni nsuo no na ode ne topaye no den eka ho na ma yadewa no atumi den adwane afiri nipadua nim na ayaresa na atumi abantem and nti say doctor catch wonya peptic ulcer se ma che say ulcer no de kuro na babia ya na etowo nipadua nim no ana ye fa so de tudin nti say doctor catch wonya peptic ulcer na che say ulcer na kuro no baaye na atowo nsoro nkotu anim na ba kon so akwakoto ye funum babia odidi a na adwane na kogu no eno ana ye kabom na ya friend peptic ulcer once so no want peptic ulcer na mom what gastric ulcer naturally say ekuro no ababa beto ye free no nko aba bia odidi a na akwa kogu no eno ana ye friend gastric ulcer bia want gastric ulcer utu esophageal ulcer na eno no ye kiremu a chese ba bia odi aduane wura wanum a drobe na fam na san minimum no koto ye mo no ye no ana say ekuro no ebeto ho no a na ya friend esophageal ulcer entino ulcer huduo bia na wate wunnim no mepacho anopomasibere Hack Samisha capsules aduro yentafo abakunkonya bakwa esa yade baako pe stomach ulcer na sene so se sa aduro we doctor fo be yenso na transia komunim dia bom ana omde aduro we aba na oma anya mfansa yade miensa ne mienu yade baako pe stomach ulcer enti bomodia na afi no ekope bi efa ema wodofo bi a ebi aba ne so unua bi anase mepacho hu kane bi na asomdie emra sanse stomach ulcer yade a yade we na beye wa wanhwe ya beka sese bi obi ato waduru anase obi ede wa fa ba bi sanse signs and symptoms a obenya wo nipadua nim no aya na ano den se medical catch say ma ulcer ntena so nche sanse eche wo nipadua nim a obetumi akwakonya internal bleeding na say internal bleeding ne ba mepacho moja ye internal bleeding na che so humoja ni nyina na ye den esane abesia kwa abonten no na humoja esane no ebe kakra no wani su nyina ebrimo ebe kakra ne sebi eno na obi didi na sebi ofepa udidi afache me na moja ewom eno na obi ja ne 9 pe obehwe na moja wom na che se what do stage bia wakwakonya internal bleeding na wan so anu a ye rush wo do hospital a either say ye di moja ebesi wo so ana say won so no na ye di moja ebesi so na wo ye osom bia wo mpemogya na eno no o kɔ ne sen me pacho ema ne nyansa no aka se me ho yanka kɔ na kɔpɛ haksam shan capsules na eno nom ema bibia enkoyi ene na da screen ni so no fa phone twa to de onya do pharmaceutical shop on no na herbal shop on no na de ato nanim se papa we bi na me pɛ no na asomdue aba bibia adadin the number ni bio na face se ye adwuma na yenni nkomo na yemmisa o science ben na woti wo nipadua num symptoms ben den na ekoso ye me bebo so yi won so no sa bi na wote anas wo de na woti bi foforo fre na yenni nkomo ni yenhu na yentimi yenso bo o problem no emfamo 0240 23 83 10 0240 23 83 10 0240 23 83 10 ana telephone number no so 0203 822 855 0203 822 855 0203 822 855 and into opo awa se menyan call hospital ye nyan diagnose me mede hunu se de ekoso me nipadua me eye stomach ulcer na eye me san me patoti symptoms bia betimi anya wo nipadua me indigestion obo awa de die no se aduane na hyehye me ho obo awa de die no se aduane na ase gina me bo obo awa de die no se aduane na ase akochoke me minim obo awa de die no ase se aduane no obi kura timi ka se aduane na hyehye ne kon ho me paucho woni mina ye symptoms a me paucho eye stomach ulcer etumede ba ebia na wo de na wo hunu no na efri stomach ulcer dia kona kope haksam shan capsules nonom ema ohu ento obu won mo a me pacho se eya na ne tifa no etimi dwa no wonya migraine etimi dwa ne kinkin ma na nani sukura brim no me pacho ebia na wo de no sa symptoms no ana signs na wonya wo nipadua no wo de na ebia na stomach ulcer no dia ba bomo de na kope haksam shan capsules nonom ema ohu enye den ento obi freye o se de meso so metenka o minipadua no se minipadua e fatimi hyehyemia asesebio ya hwie eye mako ene ye de agume so me pa chow e bia na wo de no so no eye stomach ulcer ene de aba kona kope haksam shan ne capsules ema ohu enye den ento me pa chow aya na ye bo ano ha no tokuro na asebia da ye no funtam ho no obu wonu mu a science a wonya se hotimi tutuna ma obehwe na aso na chiri bamu ni na chiri dompe yi emutumi ye ne ya ma sebi o kasa kora na kasa no entumi madene se onantumpa nantie no ontumi mfa ne nan ensisi form dene me paucho saa ne ma no ohunu owu ni padua mu ahye no so e bia na wo de no eye stomach ulcer na dia ba kona kope haksam shan capsules nonom ema ohu enye den ento size ben na wo tu ni padua ne me paucho fresisia na yenni nkomo na yenkyerɛw de obenya aduro bi atɔ na wo so no ho ento obi nso so de ne se me pato ɛya na aduane sinanim mpa se obeti biadi ana se atenka obenya de ate aduane ne biadi no onya obroni se loss of appetite ana se reluctant to eat me pato se wo de no nya sa symptoms ne bia ene na wo de ne bia na ye stomach ulcer ana de aba ene na kope haksam shane ne capsules nonom ema ho nya den ento obi kura de ulcer nti ye na ko eye hospital akoye ne endoscopy na eno na ye de wo to a doctor for mpa so na yama wo minimu ye de wano no akosoro kakra na ye de duro ben bi anase pipe bi awuramu akwakoto yem na ye de kwohwehwe ba bia ohaw no ewo no me pa chow sadie we oyawa egwom ene amanehu a ewom no mempese obi be ko ho bio eno nti ana ye de aduro nwanwaso a ye de tu eye osase nko a de abrewa ye fen haksam shine capsules a ye nom aduro ye ntafo no bom ema osa ne nyeden asie entu ema ho enye ento mepacho mo say ya na wofuru aye kutu sese no sebio bi adidi ye kama ye fen anso no nko a de okasi a wo na asa wofuru nko a timi ye kutu mepacho obo onzo a fon ano fon ne so tia na ete me pa church stomach ulcer ne de me se wan hwe ya beka so obi di wafo baabi na so na ya de na ye ulcer kono kope haksam shan capsules so bi I don't have for your nom edit stomach ulcer se yade no entimi kwanten ni padua no bi kope bi nom na ho nya de entoji number ni bi o 0240 23 83 10 0240 23 83 10 na so betumi afre 0203 822 855 0203 822 855 Fresisi ana yeni nkomo wonso so no symptoms be na wonya wo nipadua nim obo won ma kakra bi pe na okesi sa bebel chi sa me pacho ni nyina no etimi stomach ulcer etimi de sa oha no e de ba onipadua no so nti sa wo so wote sa nkan bia e bia na wo de no eye ulcer ana de aba obo okura na obedidi sa bia nya aduane nya ton na numu a koton ye ma no afia aduane nyina aba onfene so no behunu moja wom onfene so no sabio bo no say fina off no bu o say ani na kwakoye say akoye dark brown ni na akoye yellow and just a different colors me pacho sa bi na hu ni padua nim ana se sabio sa bi na hu o fiem e bia na wo de no stomach ulcer na kwakofa sa de ne ba fre na wonso so no yenkyere obabia obenya haxa mission capsule so bia no mama ho ayeden atọ obu okran so obeja ne nan na moja wo eno na medi kan ka kyerɛ wo sɛ ba ne sana na wo de no akwakodru stage bia wanya internal bleeding bomodin asɛ obepe haxa mission ne capsule so bia no ama ho atọ na emma osanche wo nipadua mu ayi sanse obetumi akwakonya perforation a kyerɛ sɛ won so no enketo no emu betutu saa bebɔne ntokuro na ɛwɔ sɛ yetimi kate na afei no ya de baabia ye papa no ahyehyehye wo me pacho yen kate yen po na da asɛn ye be kate ɛne clinical me pacho mo bi emfrɛ number no 0240 23 83 10 0240 23 83 10 and 0203 822 855 0203 822 855 na afeni yeni nkomo de how symptoms awunya babia benya biato aduro no time awasa wonom no na bibia enkoyi mfama kinigo bera wasenya minsrao
mera se wo for mike na yetene nkan ofi haxa ejumaku no asoye omuna ye haxa capsules ne mixture baby aduru ye beko akwaje yaboafo nkrato ye ba ekukuda mo ha ye ni omobedi nkomo timo fidie nkoso nda power 97.9 FM na o channel nunda TVXYZ me basisia
Now, let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road, Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Obrabo eye adwumada. Eboa eyam aduane. Eboa eyi insa free ni peduane. Na eboa woni pedua ma etena ho yie. Nanso wonim sɛ nneɛma a yɛdi na yɛnom timi ma brɛbo yɛ adwumaden sen pɔtee.
Mehuda me brɛbo yɛ adwuma paa. Ebia sɛ sɛ mentumi yɛ bibi boa me brɛbo.
Ani and wanting about the left feet from the Moses Clinic near Herbal Center about herbal food supplement. What says it? Pa the brɛbo ama a year juma ye.
Mama, any juma.
Fatopa yenu anopani enumere. Na eboa ma brɛbo ye juma ye. Sani ebeya ebetimi anyam aduane awodi esiesi ni peduane mu eyi mu finsi ye.
Eno na me brɛbo kia pa.
Ubenya Left Kid or pharmacy, herbal shops, ne supermarkets are ebeo. Sa wope dodo so to a 0244 06 8447. Left Kid, wa brɛbo, wa woni pedua. Edro yi enye ma apemfo, e ma ema omomanofo, ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumien. FDA agi dwedie krato yi atum.
Ifa kra na menye sika, edia ye mefui.
Ehifa pa na menya bosia edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre mi bosia ato taxi foforo. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekokro bosia, susu account. And that's all our savings account. Me bada chain savings account. And the keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422918896. Now one so what to me aka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka owner.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank. Growing our heritage.
Mesama wakwa babiom deba TVXYZ so baby a wo bia wo hweme mo wuti power 97.9 FM baby edri and some egu bamba so na ebe delve into it na yedidi emo enkomo ye wo ye mame eye Gloria eye Jifa eye Ashinyo waha sa so na Kofi Ebusua Penning so waha ye mame Jifa eye Ashinyo ono owo Office of the President sa so na Kofi Ebusua Penning also ye member of the NDC National Communication Team ekukuda mnyeni na meni omo ebedi juma Auntie Gloria mo akwaba bibi aboko de
Christo di adum
yo official paso
afin kombetu
bro nyande am say me you share is 30th is 30th 31st mom okay 31st
Wednesday
Wednesday okay you share bibi aboko fie boko ya da nyame ase ebusia mpomu abra
say mpom boko na onzu
Meso nyame adom baby ofie mountains boko
nyame adom
ofie so boko yeda nyame ase papa ekukuda me menye omo na enseme gubamba so yeba na yebedi eho enkomo mamenko oba Gloria hwe ende say meka se onua ba ba ko ye meka ni say oba anti owo onua penin roaster penin Owo a minority side, no a deputy minority leader, or sansu a member of parliament. Edema asokwa. Say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama 1 year. And one common bedina is a sama niho. No, they are samaba. Say minority ne dia fa de omomu hu hwe aban no etumi aye efa no eye abasobode a eba ye good board ho nsem ni na ye ntoto pa His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo jaye CD asese appreciate no mo an de toto ye no mo koye na ban na beto aso nti sa abasobode o mo de bo mo ho 40% asidi no etumi appreciate na nya no korrect IMF measures and she would go ho no more at was to ni impono IMF the one in our rubia babarabane bunene so on person the ejuma you share $240 million $14 million no so sebiwa dia car ya bona saka inti between the hospitals schools equipment to mu hia ne niam ahoro na impo sa nsema ora sa meje mfide ba say adwuma na abɔ no hombody etumi nya 960 na impo expenditure mo ye 120 million cedis ni na mungu ansem ni na no odo be kan na nya de so na oman no mama obaboka aban ne fail totally yen sha so
no
buy a bay wine and so obi ajo so
some no cry Mr. Master
me say what with you sir
na oba panyin na no o ma ne ho kwan ma ono ankasa nam ono ankasa ne nsa so said
I'm saying penny ni ho until so to adwuma
why is he allowing herself to be used by the devil to destroy her because press conference na ono ne Jerry ye no Menye sure say minority fo nyina kra nim ho bi
bebre di omo ni wiye
because they were not there nipa mi no ne Jerry pena no omo te ho a Jerry jina ne nchen wono kra say woda
say wa bre
nti owie ye na no say no questions the ombeka no omo atwoto ni nyina nti e wo park no nti obi ankonko fa no wonko
ye didi hu nkomo MC a mo betumi mute ye friend say video ne na yahwe abre didi hu nkomo yahwe omo adi mi na hawo no mu gina ho kasa ni mu gina na chi
na oba panyi eviti enra na me hwe ni video bi a na o ensema wo ka che ne constituents e ma bi a ma me panyi abre wase tese wo kobe 70
wasama ka ya mpo mienu onene Jerry no
gina ho obi anka ho we wo full video no ho ni dim says MCR betimi anya full video na o me
ya bo ye di kan bo ho na
obi anka ho na minority pa o mo be press wo de hwe ayi de na o mo ye da na Kojo Ponkruma mobiles at least they were more than 4 or 5
yes
at least they are 80 now
no man no adwo mo di new year dey no mo be ye we
yes wa ba be kan ye o mo aye kwanye o ma fa so asay o man na to ho no and one work she was confessing their weaknesses nioma o ma ye ensu a o ma say ani o kan ho asem galamsey aduku o man no o kan ho asem na de me person me ka kire Ghana fo en say we kwa na o hwe comment na me hwe wo na sabre no osofo bi preach wo XYZ enti me ko hwe wo another channel so na o hwe comment youth no any woman ahwefo no di gu ase a en me so we hu yase me ha me ho amanfo bo na tutu oba pani wudu anim ba beje saade we say de yedan hwa santeman obra momo se eho na ye mu stronghold ade no motimi aye ho no 8 years bronya kakraka ye di ye ntimi anka se concert ba akupo ana se program bi kura ana se obi akoye comedy bi amankofo kura o motu kwan fi ba bi aba no o monya ba bi akojojo wo mo ho kura so wo mo hwe na sha theater bi ani ho program house event house bi ani ho hwe ankoso asantema mu democracy way fourth republic ba ye did 30 years atwam 1992 ye nyinche 30 years MPP beto aba 96 no mo ba ye efiri ho ebesi nne ombo monumental project bi a wo de wo ba ban mu wo ye Emma Ashanti region ye almost stronghold yenje no nko twenchen was it gold board governor of the Bank of Ghana and Kano Kre. Oh.
Doctor Siam.
Say, Mamma no, why pay?
We no ye and Kay to Batinam Pese. Mamma no, why you pay? Yeah, come on, Sister Penny.
It's who can send in or ya Baba will be anka a year coming in the bed.
To German.
I'm coming to Japan. Mano. Now, 2024, no Ghana.
Oh, yeah, Mammy Patricia, no, why.
A brat can net nana ya wofuriata ko ball IMF busie ba ye no ho sada no ani here 3 billion dollars e dia so yesene e dia so ya ade so dia ya ade no e wo Ghana ha e ka sign na MS Addison e be ka kire yen se Bank of Ghana abo that was 12 August 2023 and wo ba be ka kire yen se Bank of Ghana boka 60 billion cedis. Sa no se na dollar no 12 cedis 60 billion no uchema nipa 12 fa. Uchema 12 cedis te se wo de to dollar no 3 billion e bro so. Ye benya 3.6 billion. And so 60 billion yira ya enye so wo de kodi dwo. And as what the Konya Jadi who said to say policy cost. It wasn't policy cost. They said the IMF no, policy IMF. Assembly na Bible like assembly na is equal to say Galam say gold na 2024. We are seeing na ereti yen say Ghana na ye number 1 gold exporter. Ye ton gold $11 billion says kana mafutum na mono Swiss aid can say gold ni nyina fa Togo ye the smuggle fa Togo and ye the ko fa UAE Dubai and some of more companies are almost Togo no je de ko ba bi o mo de be kwa de o mo de be ye no say nenti sa biom Sami Jamfini ne mrantie na tuatua kwan a wo fa so smuggle gold nyina enti na IMF abeda na wo muburo ni na IMF no so no se omukọ a wo munya 10% ema eso wo mu mpanimfo na wo mu wo soro ho no so wo mu cheche no coins tot mo bia nya bi na ya ofori atakoje IMF busia ba wo munya 10% wo so okoje bond ba iwo bond ba omunya mfaso wo suntino se no wo mu hihye wo dollar na wo maboaboa no apake ku dem so na ne value no so tia na etikofom e kana wo maburagu ho domestic debt na nkasa kwa ne eye over 700 billion Ghana cedis auditors ba be audit e kra no na eye 1 trillion. And so ye buy ya fininu or expect to see ye baba be yunkonya na nkonya bi wo ha obi betimi eyi ama o man ani ada ne preko pe chance ene Ghana fo nyina boy ensam share Emma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama any Professor Jena na opokwa jiman say ya de pa wiase nyina po akra aba ba hyen emra ye wo Ghana he na World Gold alliance for penny pano one na be die chere na executive obi nyina tu wo moto hu be si Ghana ha wo ba be hwe Sami Jamfi they were here photo no bu internet obi ope bia nkonko hwehwe bi mo de bu ze me kan sama me kan with fact na me the figures account
and one no
enti no sa kwan na wo mo fa so bokro no nyina na kwan na si yenya $11 billion be gu Ghana futuo mu a enka dollar no ko 17 cedis 17 no your bank rate na bochi to na 18 na fuel mo na musoro
sa
company mienu bia na omo de say yes omo na omo ye high no omo de ebi omo product no bia 22 cedis but me ka omo fuel companies no to petrol stations no bi wo high yes omo de omo ye mienu wo Ghana ha yes omo de omo ye high class omo fuel ni bi kwa na 22 cedis
no cre
Nana sa $11 billion dollars gold na omo ton ya Swiss aid Reuters na report here de kire say ya nti ho asem bia wo Ghana ha wɔn media houses na ɛnɛ wɔn abo agye so a wɔn microphones sisi yɛ maame n'anim a wɔdi ɔba penny yɛ kasa wadi ntura ne yɛ didi watem and so we don't have any word to qualify what you've done wɔn magina baabi show wɔn si afem wɔbɛgu wɔn mu asese constituency deɛ minim sɛ dodoɔ na ɛhɔ na wɔhyɛ aseɛ free yɛ ɛka kyerɛ wɔn sɛ ora akyekye nkrɔfoɔ ora nyɛ police ora nyɛ arresting agents wɔn kyekye nkrɔfoɔ ora deɛ mfa ora bia ntaata obia ora akɔfa wɔn ho okotietie nkrɔfoɔ asɛm no aba na ɔde abrɛ attorney general na ɛbɛhwehwɛm na so ohun sɛ wo ho wɔ asɛm ansana watchwa ade wakɔ akɔgyina mmara no watena parliament for over 3 terms 4 terms ni no wɔfrɛ constituency ɛma ɛna wodi ntoro kyerɛ wɔn ɛno nso nkɔda amewo wɔsan ba bɛgyina amansan dwe so national television so woni Jerry but why this is MPP no and now we minister deputy minister no enye no ni o jaide wo ye no na mfata o ugu we ni mu ase o se o mu die ni mu ye wo MPP no mu nyina mu gu parliament won o mu ba kokora ma magina wachi ana se MPs no ebido na gu nkran ha
nipa no Janet nso abroad
o ba be ye conference no adan one from mama meka ho because they ono nkasa kra na no funfun ensem o kanyina na no funfun maame enu nti nkoda ho enu ye August 12 2023 and Addison Ernest what's menyo say what's mewu say what's mewu yo
anya chairman on former
there be Bank of Ghana governor no Addison
what's mewu
sa ni di no
yenkwe ni
ana me say womu wobeka tira yense waboka 60 billion na yense wakoto gold enyense wodizika na koye policies a ye de be ye gold board ana say wobo gold board besia ayi almost gold for reserve gold for oil na oni ba ye no a omo lanche ye na gold for oil no gold no kwa oil nemba fu abo kwa na na ekosoro no enfa so be na Ghana fu nya ya nti 60 billion cedis no yes abe no na dollar and 15 cedis until you calculate uchama 15 uchama 60 $4 billion US dollars ayira ye me ko yechi ekoko bob so 3 billion eso na say sika no Bank of Ghana governor say sika no ayira 1st June 2024 as if that is not enough Ghana for Governor Addison Kuroya Samba afio womo kɔgye IMF sika no ba ya womo share white ye party eye gongongo IMF amaye busia no o say ye enya womo media fo ema womo publishing na nigye so kyerɛ Ghana fo ma womo airtime ema womo kyerɛ mu kɔ womo fa so awia yen anso man kan kyerɛ sɛ IMF deal na womo kɔyɛ ye no womo de water bill ani electricity bill e de aka ho womo an kan kyerɛ yen enne adani Herculean a year esense ye komu adani wo waboto ane ye de boye komu ene e buru ye nso so yentimi nka ho hwe kota bia ye tu nsuo brum ne ya to kane ya brum wo ye ne hwe a enye yie efise ye de akosi awowa e wo IMF fuo ho ana enu ntin koda se sika ne ba ye na omubo o se ye no afi so ye na Addison Kuroya san ba begina ho ya mum me san ko ye no ma san ko akɔbɔ biom ade na wo ton ya enti waboka wo se man ton hwe no explanation nothing wakɔbɔ ka 10 billion 10.5 billion Ghana cedis diaba 10.5 na no so sa be no na dollar ye 17 cedis calculate hwe so cedis 10 billion no ko 17 cedis sa 10 billion na hwe sika eno so ehira ye one to gold one to gold one koto hwe sika no ayira wa mecheche mu anchiro bia parliament inquiry committee amfreno ya amfreno multi-party inquiry say omunya inquiry no mu hwehwe sika no mu ma Mrs. Mamini yesterday friends
Patricia
J we were parliament sabeni nyina na we a member of parliament we government na we power when to me amfre Addison an kan kire ne so wombra no ma mekyerɛkyerɛ mu de ye enti se sika na yiraye 60 billion yiraye afi pepepe na 10 billion asayira afi foforo na another 9 billion asayira efi 2022 saa de besi 2024 wodi sorry free homa ba amina ndamusa hwan ebeje sebe as a baller no prapra e ma wo man sa na wo sesa ya o mo de baller ni nyina ko opposition no e kan ko a Addison boy ebru 90 billion Ghana cedis the obaka tire ye no auditors anko audit ya anye committee of inquiry bia iyoko amfre no ba ko no ye friends en iyoko ni no ye friends de ombesi san ni no NIB amfre no national security amfre no investigative bia anye investigation Smith me about media house media multimedia entimi anye fast check ehuru de ye say sika no ehiraye sabre no so ne ye the IMF asensen yekomu na Ghana fo ho tire wom sabre na ne ye 001 ne 101 000 midnight no wa bonsuo gari sabre na gobe ebeda ne da sebre ewo Ghana ha emrantie eho tirom sabre pa na man red num ebeye bebre because emrantie no munye duane ni akomodom galamsey adjust asena fa na dodam kwakufa do ne wo ma me Patricia J watena say ye mra o parliament say chairman wuntumi mwura ye kwayem owura mu no nyese ono nkwa wode dia wode wono so akwakoye affairs ni te sabo so kan waye affairs wo kona wo pebia wo ma ne sika se ya no atwa kakra ma wo tutu kwa brento ngu galamsey eye nyina ye so gold ni nyina de kotogo na Chinese fo no ema na omo ni eye etwemanso wo Ghana ha no afa de togo no mo agi wo honum na omo de ko Dubai na omo akoton ma company enti company no ena ye report afia so wo ye ne report enti wo ye ne report o publishing wo mo site na Reuters kokko fae eno na man ye hu say 2024 Ghana at on gold 117.6 tons which was $11 billion.
You baby as can find.
And I boka. But have lost 11 billion. Ya ton gold 11 billion. So ya share 11 billion. Be say ni na for smuggling. Enti amfa Bank of Ghana. Se si ano ekwanesi.
Si.
Na bia musika adifudi sika ni free na ekwanesi. Galamse ko anemo so becho. Woman to emrante no back board ye be gu ani mu ase enti koi bia ye be fa so a ye be rubbish there His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni gold board ni Bank of Ghana governor no o so kan say ono kwa no wasem e na Attorney General ba ye no ba be unity e na omo clear no enti ma me apieje na ye den enti yenye den enti de wo be kan ye nyina oba pani wa ma megu ani mu ase sa awia ketekete 2 o'clock sa ma na nye den ma mi jai no wanyi
yo meda se papa Gloria jifa ashino na yete enenka no ma me kokofie busia pani kofi yentiwe minority press o me nsema eba ye ma
minority me nge so say minority press
but into deputy sana ya address say deputy minority leader Patricia J nasemo de PJ yentiwe kofi say ojema minority
mefa efri so na minchia onkasa na minchia my sister say yenchia already so that you were the same platform and imagine akwai so abona baso say oye djuma papa of office of the president but onyamre echire nieme mu chire Ghana fo saa na ye pese impenumfu bi e wa appointment no omokoso aye say we distinguishing ho na me ne ya de bia mete sister inka ema manager no no say miss na me nim say ofi voter radio na twi yokofia we ngwa nim say so di fufu so di nyuma we say important me nim you twi not pa wa yes oh okay that just say enye twi nku o na so ya hare na so e hare enye ente say ye ngankra hakura wo ye nto ye nte mente ba ye Otikasa de bebre me ma ye ni kura mente. Na appropriate time say we show na ye be say that man crop Africa apa because ye won pedophobia my own afi Nicholas
yeah ko enim
nse dua batabo ni twa na na ade ye yaw pa ne wo fa accident nkurumia ekuru beto wo fa accident a mumia ye den pa so we umia mana udin sohwe no ka na osu we mia so ade na ne betwa so we say de eto no na wo say opayine tenafie na mofra we nanka eda wo beka nanka refo no sa pene no wo de ne fra so ti ase opayine de enka wutena fie na mofra de nanka ebe fie ba be repair no watie won wo de beko me ka kire o se meri be mi ame wo fa ni firi ko yi nanka oni mi se mene na mo ne ma me wo nwe nanka nti oton nanka no e ma papa bi wo fra de papa Robert oton ma no no de sika no tro no oton no tro e no de sika no be fie de bre mene na e yo no ne na e me mene na nkanso ode bai no de begu na ne men say mama me na Jessica na ja enwumere mu fa koto na mu fa nye nkwagre ye nwofufu ni na me na ne be say ne say ukonya sika wei nse tetenu ntu be fisika meru bi keke
no opeso hu sika na se
ana say ukofa sika wei ana so me kwa na me firi na mesum wafu no mun ayi onanka ana me kotoi me kotonga nti unu sika ni o first can or to nkotu nani atofom o to sika no bonus on famfia and what is the meaning asia na say o catch them o fani say jama wonnim say se me kona me disika we kotonam e wo market na ye de be yen kwan we a nanka nam na yawe na na because nanka sika ansa na me wo fa ni ba no unim say me wo fa sika de kura wani ono so de kwa abonten kwache
okay
because ono so okodiska de pete so wawe nanka nam mami a ya kana asemi ye mami Patricia J Apiaje eboa
sa
wo no 28 November 1956
can you imagine
we be 70 years mami we be fear your son 70 years anything that me bubu belo asia do say ama na asem kana ye din ma me penny udi vice president wo man nukure here because her excellency the vice president Professor Jena no Pukajimai so no so the same age na you see the whole thing na Swesedia Professor Jena no Pukajimai a distinguished no astute personality like your vice president no carry the home do public on public baby esese ye kasa any baby esese ye smile any baby esese ye sre training no na wako parliament ma mi o ti penge du say enena meti wona me hwehwa de bi say monopause nya de pa ke Nicholas monopause and I'm going to share the symptoms of menopause. I'm going to share you. Can you go? Who say, hey? Me bo mo dey going to share symptoms of menopause. And I'm going to say, menopause ni problem ba ko ni say. Emma, why asu ye kutu? Efe Emma wo bre. O kasa tu o kasa kakra do abre mami munyi ni mfori ni mu ya hwe video the press conference mo hwe danim o kasa di tie the voice o kasa kura wo so wa bre fatigue o difficulties o issues so o presenting issue a o say wa bre wo mu
no cry for
no say nya ni fault monopause nya de pa na hwe jari ogina we hwe support ma we no control maame wei woyɛ mu ba bo powder ekukuru wesi apaso de wakwa ko gina platform so
National TV
ema mo father life
Obia fan life.
Can you imagine? Now this guy ejira won chanwe odi hwedanim. Hwed ojira na nchari jarin.
Asa kola wedi di ame.
Can you imagine?
Nani kun.
Na wa bre.
Mami na bre.
Nani. Jerry ankasa
Jerry ankasa no.
Asa kola wedi di ame nani kun.
Omo mi enu na na ejina ho yo.
Obia anka.
Obia
na press conference we ase den.
What's that today?
What is the meaning of this?
Some yeah may who saw
just obi onko ka bi obi anti wonka. So waba. So no show hope your parliament. Na parliament no to say baby akwakoduni. Say pa na parliament tia. Nicholas. I tell you I won't go there. Bibi enu obi be ya abaka say two but meaning nti ma ne kasa bia betabo ni twa etwana se nko ye sa ma ba ni bi ni ade a trobo MP ni bia nka gori ni ebegori so ti ase no akwa gina wo keka sa nsem wi mame Patricia Piaje mame ni sa nsem na obekan wo wi afi se wo bang na wo mu no na eyo ofe no oso bia ni jo bakwa obia wo obakwasia na ni jo no ho
sa
$12 million muso mu de koye Pualugu Dam ba wo mi declare wo television so say eye ni signature program project
na we he know found
oko wona manfo ko push in na pe o ka kire so sorry when to me anya na next year what to abana man de obeye
that bang
you see $12 million mami $2 million in Crofugina court amena okasai sky train was obey train na nam form no kura wo twitwa na de no ya na scraps mami Patricia Piaje and Jerry way omo $97 million, the biggest and most expensive hole we are seeing na we chia cathedral what there is swimming pool
it's a fish pond
onim say yeka nyana my sister eka no udim sa Bank of Ghana kano 68 billion Ghana cedis it scan a 680 trillion yes 680 trillion you be dia wafa mun to be misa wasem and na me no ka say udim say commercial bank transfer 52 billion Ghana cedis 520 esensewo sikani hu ba bi e fai
asamu
52 billion it is kind of 520 trillion
yes kaba
yes kakitwa wo mami Patricia Piaje anyewo we yan how can for you take a chance so big good banks e wo krom ha because wo hu ye da bofu Ghanaians no opeso wo wura haship mu sane e be ya wo be hu say MPP fu won faso 9 billion na banks in here or the 25 billion and the go no na mama no ni kromia
no wa
no ni kromia
no wa
it is as no be say enye where from this mama Patricia Piaje enye me wo so unhwa sa na no ene na man na Akufo Addo beje one party no ye de sa wo Kumase the Shanto region a project ba kukure ni ho a ono na nkasa betumi abostu on say that sister kasa no ka say bi o say wutumi nya kwankogina wo na upolutu manga na mo adwere na nka ugina wo ngani na sema so kan say ye mere so na ye bedi su 8 years na ye we
ntumi anka
you couldn't
asam so ka tron ho a
to insabanfu dia wo ye ni nye uko kansu ya no won afro se bra asama na beyiwa no uko asama nso ya wo fa mafie biem ene ne maami asabi o koda kosi what do you want a blind papa bamanimu ema na me no kasai petro ye di buro nya na petro so price to ba from
and 10 cedis so and coins.
Can you imagine?
You
see, I met a 1 year near celebrity. Who's a Muslim Papa no Okakasa Otenenga. Or say 200 Ghana. Who to me the Takuko at Omukudi? I am person because of money bag is 5 kilo, the winner 50 Ghana.
50. I want 30.
30.
Mama de obey who brand be me pese me bo ha advert there na a shame 5 ye turn 1,000 flat and then me call a 690
maybe auto kwa area
Madina me bank cry and we catch him say why man beni makram be 20
me koto brand be with supermarket
and me me bi o man no boarding
me body mo me money din kura say how what your friend Millicent
me dey any Royal Umbrella
me koto Millicent no supermarket 380 Ghana.
Supermarket need just
me de komo lady na me go with supermarket. Na no aya me fo kura aya me fo kura anza na me na gache aya me fo me say mo mo asa fi 600 ni say about 380
oil
anza na man ka james o de adu uko kroma ka be nya na it is 200 Ghana no ene uko national service for one farm sada akukọ na one address de 80 Ghana
akukọ f
ne one address de 100 Ghana it is 200 no better akukọ 80 Ghana wom what omo 50 Ghana what ayo 130 we are what ko ayo 30 ayo 160 na fe 40 no we dey Ghana yeah the woman say fuel no what to swam within last 3 a year or 2 so no we save driver bia a liter bia we save no 3 cities 50 pesos
pay we no pay dey
na me say unam kromo a kai car numbers na your tro number GR 20 1290 G
yes
G ni na ba
G what did I
ko focus egu
garage jira won atuaba because petrol no fedu ametumi ato now say 3 cities 50 pesos uto 20 liters 20 liters is just about 4 gallons 4 gallons 2 liters we save 70 Ghana go bottom
don't pay we no
government
70 Ghana would bet me to be
mama who near so the plan said na me no ka say don mama come police for pickups 100 100 pickups just last 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago omo amokas 40
on your dem bi
then on your bi mama apia jei
ozo ohun
sati we hu ni majari small boy we ya hyew e wa pakanu
osade egu no so
ada ko ya
mo sa no funfun
utongo how could you do such a thing to yourself mama miss Rewara impenunfu nkranfu okasa bi awoka o se onipa beja alo
ana se chene se
oide
anti gloria church
oni ko pe ni fi ana
no ye
peni si na ye dia to
oni mo wani
asem no ka no yes ni efi omo ba peni
70 years
oba peni
no pepepe dia obedi 70 years this
year
oba peni no
oba peni grandma
ena nka mu na nka utu fofo onu pagbeja mo se mo ka dey onu pagbeja lo
asem na na da ho
what is this
make us say 2019 August 20 ebra Addison ne Kenuforiata na na yaw omugu banks no indirectly 6,000 workers and they should wo modjuma mo na 6,000 no Ghana boka 20 billion Ghana cedis Addison tinya mecheche yemu
200 trillion
220 billion
ekano okwese efie kra nye na chance kito to the so
ekano abaguwa obabedi governor no yo ya ne so oboka no otweska
gugu secretly
abrantie ya wo maame abie ma Patricia abrantie ya wo bonus mbo wie wo ba ye afini o ontweska o sika na mumu twegu ho no eno anu ode dandan ye ho
ono kro okọ office ko nya afi
governor esiema won twa sika na nti bone a oye ne sen aye policy course na IMF no nti a omo tro sa report ba ya MPP fu agie ehuri agina so den okay so Ghana in West Africa ye wo ECOWAS meboa
me pacho wa
ye wo Niger ye na nse no omo so omo yes Sahel ye wo Mali ye wo Chad ene ye wo Côte d'Ivoire ene ye wo Burkina Senegal ene ye wo Senegal sa countries na me boy nyina won se no omo nyina nso di IMF kasa na se sia no omo nso nyina nso to gold enti se sia na Sami Jemfine governor and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne omo maame teacher Jane womo atu saa na monya womo countries here try ho share who say it is yielding result
correct
one sha say ya first report ya ma me bri mo mani so a countries na aka no so de omo ho bagim sa omo be baga na ba besua omo so kono omo kokoye na omo sika no sha se appreciate na dollar na ekofa na se kanu a omo de IMF no mu tua when the best akọ IMF akọbọ bo se
na je se ni atene no
Niche so kwasi eni ate agro it is say IMF timi di propaganda unfortunately for IMF sa time ya ode sa propaganda na bre ye no e Ghana ha no wo mo ode bre wo mo no wo mo ye micro minority
sa
government in power no ye ewo 2/3 majority enti sa de we no amfa na government no so kwan ya wode aban na oman ni nyina fa so no affect obi apreko
sa
obi atinka maami apiejei en ufri ufie ba no fuel na utogu uka mu ba ye no sai na utua aye maami petro na udugu uka mu etwi ba parliament no sai na utua aye bro nyei uko jina u constituency for no ho udi ntro kire wo mu twa aye twa ntro no enye 100 Ghana na udi hye wo mu nsa Wankasa kwa constituency kwa chip compound say no ye
asokwa hode na why
na den na ma umma ho kwan ma obonsamfa wo so say wankasa wo ho saa kwese da obekwa asore mpato sre Boniface
papa na won say
sre Boniface pa da me pato wo abamu ana His Excellency na Danko Akufo-Addo any your friend say sa guy na wo Aljazeera no wo mo sisa Ghana gold Ekugu Saudi
Matthias
Di Mashisha Alista Matthias Esisa Ghana gold ma ono ankasa de ne sensi ne bo odi cheso body hye ne ho kra journalist no ema ye be yi ho video kire mo ha mo tro letter de ko ema Aljazeera be bie na ni kire mo mo be inquiries be sin ne na ma ni pieje no wo ha ade na won yesa
na won say there ya on Alista Matthias de akwa nan kasa bue na anu say ade no ye no otona or the cat bre president the bre president ku fa
won twebo
aso so want me an kasa
na there ya won say or parliament and what the $29 million come Indian contractor bi so ko ye sablugu and wale
this kind of call
na say aye ka John Dramani Mahama at the big push yes akwan na nanu me kan wo so no so say that first say na Bruce Derry so say akwan no say the Mahama ye no aye slow do and me say Bruce Derry me betu wo parliament for over 25 years you were still a member of parliament na say na jama wo call retirement so that so wo said and I say honorable there what no sa sola fufusu tuba akwan your power 2009 2012 and yes old man start president John Mahama started say oh yeah ɛna fofia ntoata na mode takahye ne ntoro ɛna munyi ye firi so na di ye kotra baabi ɛkwan no wamfa unsanka wabɛyɛ interior minister saa wamfa unsanka
na say me videos we obo reggae no oto no
ati wose mahama ɛkwan no sɛ de wo ye no aye slow do the pace is too the pace
Western corridor
Western corridor ɛna Western corridor ni nyina ma me apiege na wote asase so wuhuye Addison aboka 60 billion 10 billion 9 billion 20 billion went to me and Kanhushi and Kasi parliamentary inquiry Yenti commission of inquiry no one sham Yanfanunko Yoko went to me and Kasi Addison Branebe Churchroom what Bejina was say obi aye policy cost policy to say the National Development Planning Commission say ye baba ye cost senchino okay years ago sa senchino no ma ye koye wo ho aduane mu die baby omu koda ye ni nyina kasa cost no bi
policy cost
enti wo boka 214 million ene ye dia kwa konya 10 billion e dia ba ayeka ude ti 214 million dollars no ti free 10 billion dollars mu ni ye hwe ana calculate $10 billion no ko Ghana sikamu ni enhwe ne dodo na fe calculate we so $214 million no eno na ye eka wo boy ya wo de bie company no ena company no ade emfaso say baba na so wo bunkunta ese so wo ye plus eso wo de kanu so ba na wo de emfaso no so ba na fe wo ti kanu free emfaso no mu a no wo sika aka eye wo dia no wo dia wo de betu wo ho no wo dia wo de be akoto enoma no biom so the code there yes nyeska bia na edi e wo de edi anye de edi nyina na consumer goods ko businessmen no sada ya wo kan Mami Patricia J Apia J mami wa nya di president ku 40 baby obe wusu ni ti sei obeka se aden na wo yesa na Jerry hey
on say Nicholas there ya me de eto so wa ne say amanfo bi develop aka bibi na un say ye no kware un say hatred bi apart from say they don't want this government to succeed, you know, they hate Samijemfi. That means Samijemfi and Kasari, they don't want to hear.
And there's a woman hating.
Yes.
What's the woman did you?
Yes, a winner.
Small girl named Mekika.
We are Kasembi Achrami. Penimbi power good or small scale for Nibimu.
Obi in the age, Manoya.
Oh, say. Onu kwejo na nkasa no oto gold ana
I see Professor Frimpong
what the buy say kwejo no oto bia na
I guess oto bia
sa iti digidi na no ye no na asia no aban papa ba ma Nicholas no me say Muslim ni no kasa wo 1 year na se no wo falsafa so no
yes
o kan sem na ma adwiri kusi so papa ya se mo kan pa Domama nkopa busie o nanso watumi atua kaye be $709 million advance
debut
payment
and no ka ho 3 times no just okambo ma watua 1.4 billion
Eurobond no
omoje ya omoye wache
that no kura new yo no wakwa kutua
that time no be so 3rd January
and
otua no
so munye
me pese me de mo ka no be rafi
kura me de be rafi fufu we ni aban
papa no
that no otua se sika no that no one oti fuel
sa enu ni ye people we no be here na me se fuel da piaje mama part asema ogina wo ka no onu ni Land Cruiser no it take more than 20 gallons 4 times 20 it is 70 cities 20 liter biaro o save 70 Ghana times 20 sikam don mama abai we bi akuru kutu
on ferry
on the journey nyina they do woman ni bibia e friend say nu abowo nti Ghana foi ye dem say you see omampani mama say odamase na fi ahoden ni titaipa we di kan bobo bi so nti na wono yes ye ntwamu because we di kan abobo so bi there you wan here no wakika
ni abeheke no furia
yes sanu ma we nyina no omampani mama so odamase e wo mpaebo papa mo de tai na echi emani amemuno ekoyie no se munka ho a enye eni ntira ne social media kura no won se mranti de social media ne mabawa no Patricia Appiagie asema waka ewu efin ne kopi mo chira
ko comment oye conference
be Bruni Japa
o kan sembi mame nye no we ansa na kwaba o si unemployment aye bebre mesre no ya ba ye ya fa nkrofo
bebre
adenti ne ye kan se ya fa adwumayefo wo kan ubo obi so ba mpese me twena adwen ba so se teacher nurses for na wo fa wo 13,800 na wo do mu gu mu keke na wo ja hokoya wa ma financial clearance no eno ntre so wa fa wo adwuma mu ya ba ye ya ma wo clearance se si a wo ju wo salary nurses allowance teacher training for nurses training for allowance so no ye tua ma ndo ye can see ye ba be mo ma ye loans but ye tua whilst we are processing ye migrate wo controller and accountant general portal so ente see adwuma ye fo ju o market tua pe na nurses no so allowance no so akoto o bank account enti wo can see ya amfa adwuma ye fo a wo kono o ja 700 billion Ghana cedis eno kwa ye kohwehwe mu na 1 trillion
sa
eno senja external debt so 3 billion aye IMF dia no aye no ne servicing no kano foriata jai servicing no 2022 $190 million no wontua opia begu 2026 the sesika no so ebegu mu no mu yi a again project no mo de ye because taxes no ene kra tax VAT kra no from 21% no say about 15% and also swate amagadi for omoje VAT receipt no omoso di ho adanse wo social media enti ya fadwumayefo wa yesrew ya employ adwumayefo teacher fo ne nurse fo amuji wo mugu mu amuja hokoye no ya fa bebre ene bebre nso kwa manone a wo mo kwa akoye adwuma
okay
Medase
papa Safari Valley eco resort boy bi papa omo Okre district dewu eho no be hu na odu ha woni beji yi pa Safari Valley eco resort me pacho weekend ye long weekend no chain holiday akosi Sunday obetumi ni adofo ebusuani na etumi akoho mo ni beji yi omo wildlife surrounding wo be hu zebra antelope mara mo ni de bebre obetumi jan ho etwamfo yin baby obeda uni problem fi so more world class accommodation ho a obenya private swimming pool ho ye recreation and restaurant service ko ho nti mo obedi say ye continental na local dishes ni na bi ho na meye ni jeni say omo ye electric vehicles bi otinema na wo ko bicycling horseback riding fishing on a man made canal ho ansa na 9 hole a golf no so obetumi akobobi ni na akoso wo Safari Valley Eco Resort. And the route here, ubetumi after for reservation 0596914394 0596914394 na bibia tumi akonkai medi Moses say or the lift kit capsules e dia bedwaman so me pa cho yetumi ma ye liver ne ye over time anadwa ye didi awie kra kwade na yakopɛ snacks bi na pie bi biscuit bi ne nema bi ye ma ye liver no over time nti ya na ebehie duru bi ebetumi aboa ma hoden etumi aba liver no afa na support no eno na wunya lift kit capsules medi Moses dia bedwaman so a ebebo ibiom esanso support immune system no kutia yare ahro eniema mboa woni padua ne beyi ni nefim umpe we no padua your friend lift kit capsules eno na make amfo amo enye na wo supermarket eye pharmacy eni herbal shops ato apeto organ heina open ho asebe bisa from Medi Moses was 0244 06 8447 0244 06 8447 inti show live yi fi se ehia yi pa Divine Hope Herbal Center omdi otwea herbal powder edi abedwaman so otwea herbal powder usisi na ye oyasa oye bemu obawo anase me pacho bebre koko na ha waye mbre wo mpemu libido no wo form stroke how ayem kro ulcer ana obawo bo wonsa wo hu ne menstrual disorders na ha wa me pacho me kamfo eye otwea herbal powder edi amo mo behia ne nsuhie warm water anyen nsuhie a wodi gu wenu ma wenu mbe popo no na wodi otwe herbal powder ba ko egum wenunum wanum you good to go kai se otwe herbal powder nya na Ghana ha bibia eton adro bia open ho asem ebisa 0591 565 557 and 0550 639 037 na winning penny for ND enkomo. Power Specialist Herbal Hospital say hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, and a fatty liver, sciatica, a prostate, and how me pacho ulcer, one sa now 9 ebu pain, compo, and a fibroid hawa. May come for Power Specialist Herbal Hospital, Ediamo. Dr. Akosia Edu Aya, or Hene Yere Oho, or so ba obetumi abo. Kuma say Omofe Yase Lake Bosomtri Road, opposite Jesbro Filling Station. Sasona Incline, Omo Kwabenya Pukwa. ACP kwine so ubehu omo ho takrade branch no Anaji Estate adjacent Anaji MA Primary School eya frefrafre 0244 544422 and 0200 383831 no only Power Specialist Herbal Hospital for Edin Komo insuonini your friend X Natural Mineral Water when you binuma ebebo ye papa and me patch you 350 ml and then it is a bone weigh 500 ml now it was 750 ml X Natural Mineral Water you will depot XYZ Broadcasting ya himfie ha you will su Abebrese Street dudu bi openo oba won se betumi akaka so ope Uncle Robert ope Chelsea pa oba wo ka chensa Uncle Robert ma wuto bia no won se betumi akabi na bibia etumi akonka nti me can for X Natural Mineral Water e dia mo na bibia etumi the ye among no musu papa and so amuda hokrojin na bibia entumi enko enkan me pacho me funu announcement mumfa memfem film na yempenfo entoa adwumedie no so na bibia enko nkan monsa ka monfa ento so mame eye owura eye Daniel eye Kodua owura Daniel Kodua nyame ya adoma ochina wokokro bi te eye ohyeye kokrobiti ohyeye ho na echina dwumedie no bekoso Mr. Daniel Kodua echina no 1 week observation bekoso wo kokrobiti ohyeye anti woma yenhye so miami nuamade nyina Mr. Alfred Amankwa our account department wo DBS o papa na defo minti owura Daniel Kodua ochina kokrobiti ohyeye ho na dwumedie no bekoso owura Alfred Amankwa dodo na friend Tino ochina opapa da from 9 a.m. mama ye na ye nkoja mumuna opapa 1 week observation enye krabehwe owura Daniel Kodua achina kokrobite ohyeye nti Amankwa Alfred dodo na friend Tino owo DBS opapa ne da for me ye nkoja mumu achina beba nti yebeba na yebeja muna Tino bibia etumi adedin mamembra anti gloria hwe ye to aso dia emre no koyi nti ye becha ne nkakrakra wo be 9 minutes nti yemfan 44 ye hwe owura Ken Ofuriata make say ice for no ensa aka no ye chese ne nkrata akra no so de na US no I spy ewu yenti
yo
asu yan man wombre
yo de tie ne se PR PR na lawyers ne ya man
you
na den na se ne lawyer for na be breaking news ne kire Ghana for say ya che no IS a che no enti ICO say ICE that is Immigration and Customs Enforcement no edini photos nyina ba begu ho ne ade na Ghana for ye hu de
baby detain ni
baby ade no da no ne bed ya oda so baby odidie ni ene baby ye di na sem so kora enso so ewo ho na me hu no se PR bi na omo ye se de be ya America ban ni be ba ne ho na fe wo mo apekwan ato ade sika so sika ndi wasisa bebre na enti o discover kwa kogum so ye businessman na omo America ban no hwe ni power te ho no so ye businessman said you so yare dukru ni nti wontimi mpie kura enkofu plane kura so wo bagana no na obeka chom so ye businessman nti no ye investor a oba be invest ni chese wo mama no green card ni chese wadane American citizen no ɛno ho ayi na ɔmo yɛ na no ho plan ɔmo hwɛ ne passport awu enti sɛ ɔmo ani kan anyɛ saa yɛ friend sɛn so na ma American authorities na ɛho ankyɛ no na ɛho amma asɛm ɔmo ankɔpre a wanhwɛ Attorney General ne nkrɔfo no ɛsiesie ɔmo ho no ɔmo koduru hɔ no na asɛm no wura court pɛ bɛyɛ he America ban bɛte sɛ bibi sei koraa ɛno wɔyɛ wɔ ne kurom nti ɛne ɛwɔ nkɔ nti deɛ yɛka no sɛ saa school no yɛ graduate de daada koraa yɛka kyerɛ ne lawyerfoɔ no sɛ saa school no afei no ɔmo de yɛkɔ no aban wei de yɛ graduate saa school no daada nti no saa nkɔla agorɔ no ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo ne yɛ agorɔ no ɛno ɛmfa yɛ ho koraa deɛ hia yɛ ne sɛ nka maame apiegye yi ɛyɛ press conference awie no no nko waka kyerɛ nana yɛ ofori ata sɛ kan yɛ bra Ghana na MPP ho ma akɔnɔ biom ɛno na mede ameka no ahemfo no a na ɔmo yɛ ne kuro mu hene kora saa bɛ sɛ wotumi frɛ no ma wɔfa ase bra na dwumayɛni biara bo nkontaa abrabɔ a wankasa wobɔ kora no Bible no a yɛ ade bia wɔkɔtu no ɛde bu Ghana man no wɔbɛbu yɛ wɔkɔtu Bible no Bible no sɛ ɛtwa ma yɛahyehyɛ ma nnipa so ɔbɛwu prɛko ɔwu akyi no atemmuo wɔ hɔ accountability heaven nyina accountability wo ho enti sɛ wo yɛ kristoni na wo dwane accountability sɛ ɛyɛ politically motivated enti na office na wo hold no na yɛ pastoral office na yɛ asofidi office ana na yɛ bordeton office ana okoton jeni wo yɛ political office adwuma wo yɛ no wo yare enti wo kɔ hospital aba wo mada sesi aban foforo aba unfortunately nye wo aban na ɛsan baayɛ enti brana document a wo di gya hɔ no emu ɔwerɛm enti brana bɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu wɔn si adwane kɔtena obi man so ɛhyɛ da yɛ display ɛyi ɔmo kita no ne yɛde ɛyi handcuff agu ne nsa wɔ n'akyi enti yɛnyɛ dɛ enti yɛngya n'akyi di si yɛ pɛ n'akyi no sɛ ɛne ne wɔ asɛm wɔn kura timi akɔ han former New York State Attorney General so ɔne yɛ ɛne ne man ɛmra mɛtwe man so ɔman na wɔn na asɛ sɛ wɔbɛsom yɛn na wonyi lorry fare wonyi akatua bia afɛ de brabe bu nkonta na wudwane ɔman na woyɛ freedom enti bi de saa deɛ we a wɔn ayɛ de aba no yes wɔn akyi no ne passport visa expire true but Oscar wo pe kwanya fa so wo hia $1 million na dollars anana ya oforiata esesa wo Ghana ye futuo mu de call yi $1 million no wonya wonya mana bro so international no there is neither here nor there wonya news emiti ya anya me de the American so ye kama say wetimi akobu mra so wo ho no so enti no doctors na omo ye surgery no omo ntimi antwe ne visa days na ama no aban foforo aba embassy no Victor Smith ene wo ho ono so yo chini enti se wonim se de wo ye na papa de akone ho obeboa me ya extend visa na ma wo
waka semfa emsia yentiewe wonim na de query
Ken Ofori-Atta wonim se oka enipa pushi se wo
we are no with your call for no
problem oka enipa wo instigate Emma wo probu ato forcing
yes
ne predecessor obi a wo fiade so abedi onu no fi wa obedi na de wo na so prosecute no Ken Ofori-Atta wo Ghana ye wo man mu na MPP for prosecute Kwame Pepra ebe ni ko prison Victor Salome
okowi
no ayare
ni kuma wo de to wheelchair motimi no akokot o wa brochi ni wokas we hia no o fa play e kosa no o jare no bai
chachuchi kata asma
nyame nkwa na je no
asthmatic
nko nyame na je no enti bra kufuo pade no so mpe because you innocent no fighting ya no clean din sankofu we nyina Ken Ofori-Atta no ofi enwechi no okan no ka kire Ghana fo nyina say no fa to force ntum because fantafu agimi so be kaya me no wa you discuss say e tape no so enye Japan be kai I don't know banging. Tiasema me go to way efi no. I say to ask me to resign is to ask a father to abandon his children. Kenoforiata. Okay, say me 16th July and on this house in 2022. And me not name Kwafunu say all resign.
Exactly.
Also take any per diem. Obi a so take iska we iska na we sumo man we woman fu say don't abandon us. Iti brana be show uma. Can for that say because you go see. Na me Patricia PJ ne Jerry Ahmed. Ehwe sa de we. Ni amu kire you to ni say mu de nipa mo be wo hu ban ya kronfo. Sa na mo pa kire yen. Mo kan sa ki Nicholas ya te kan asem ne de eboboba. Yenu baby aye yam fa ntu baby e mere pa ye beba
yo wa mu na so mo ma fisha pana
Africa pana de say
ye ma ye musu
honorable chief Julius Debra mean to be maha me money dey man Africa pa
sir
yes Eja Abraham Kumsen David Dakuji David Dakuji or Eastern region or no deputy regional organizer
okay
and na Godwin Ama good move say small scale minus on no the secretary into a go board member Sami Jemfi Edoji Tamakuru Ibrahim Kumsen and wonga Kenya mini aba move friend say MDF women's organizer friend say Anabisi Kote Canada who are Mrs. Michiamu nyina na tiefo me da say
Madam Glory be mo
Michiamu asinyo ye ma me afrim ma ye nyina
na why to me
ma na me ka
anti wuti mi ode
una your last oh
sir
na yako
yo
office fo nyina his excellency ni hesa
okay mama fa na se kese Madam Gloria jifa ashinyo office of the president's house no Kofi Abusia Penny and also a member of the NDC national communication team me amedi djumedi ho chiam from Nicholas ya usi also bit me from Nicholas mamenda production team ni as Mr. Kelvin Asante Ralph Jampu Mr. Peter Cranting Sasuna Emmanuel Kisimeba edem haswa cameras mamenda Kofi Ase Kofi the boy Frankie menda Williams na menda Francis Ase aha na edi djumedi ni si mema musu de news papa in a can na de bro hin babo ama benie oni ye nua kwachewa baby asoso na omode news papa in a can de bre nti mo fidie no nkoso nda haya after news and programs and kindness na beto so have a wonderful evening bye bye.